My YouTube is borked. What the hell? What the hell? What? Oh yeah, by the way, I just did the Mogushan Vault, I think. Yeah. With this character for the first time and maybe like the 15th time or something like that with all characters combined. And I got the mount. People, a lot of people would hate me if they would know that I just got that thing. What the hell?
Well, hi everyone, and greetings from Northern Michigan. This is Bob the Science Guy. You know, for the last year, I have been looking at the Flat Earth movement as a conspiracy theory and a social movement.
Hmm.
In my opinion, it is not a cult, it is a mass movement. And I'm very confused as to why people in the 21st century would have the idea that the Earth is flat. Is it a lack of scientific knowledge? Is it a mental illness? Is it a mass movement and a need to feel like they're part of a group? I
Yep,
really
that's exactly
don't
it.
have a good answer for you, at least not until today. Let me tell you how I make my videos. I go through my YouTube channels and I have a look and see what's out there. And if I find a video that I think has a good teaching point to it, I'll sit down and I'll review it and I'll have a discussion about it. Well, I was doing that today and I came across a video by a gentleman by the name of Vincent Rhodes. Now, Vincent Rhodes is a creationist, and he reviewed a documentary called The World Upside Down. And this is by the Pillars of Truth Christian Church in New York. Now, most of his review in his 34-minute video consisted of him saying, "Aw shucks" and "Glory Hallelujah." So I felt that it was really not very contributory. So I went ahead and I went to the original documentary. And here it is right here. And over the next hour and 4 minutes, I was captivated. Absolutely captivated. Because I had an epiphany, a thunderbolt of mental clarity and understanding. The Flat Earth movement is nothing more than warmed over creationism, intelligent design, whatever you want to call it. Every single argument that I have looked at in the flat earth over the last year comes directly from creationism and the Bible. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go over this documentary, not as a scientific evaluation, because it isn't science. It's nonsense when it comes to science. I'm going to go over it from a sociological standpoint. And I'm going to demonstrate that flat earth and young earth creationism are two wings of one bird. So for the next few weeks, next 10 or 12 episodes, we're going to go over this documentary point by point. And I'm going to point out how the arguments of young earth creationism are used directly in the flat earth. And flat earth is nothing other than young earth creationism. So let's cue up the music and get started. We've got a little row to go.
We are told that this sphere, while rotating at this speed, is also orbiting the sun.
Wait, I can use it.
66.
So that is not mandatory anymore?
This
I
is
guess?
the equivalent of traveling from London to Beijing in 5 minutes flat. We are told that our solar system is rotating through the Milky Way galaxy at a speed of 483,000 miles per hour.
Okay, I know that there's
We are
two
told that our
other
galaxy is
mounts,
traveling
or
through the universe
one raid
at
mount, and I think this
1.3
thing can also drop a
billion
mount.
miles per
But
hour.
the sharp angle is always not there, so...
And yet here we are,
Oh, and I think
still
this boss can also drop a
stationary,
mount,
motionless.
right?
Does this
I think
not
it
sound
could.
familiar?
It could drop
Is it not
something
the
nice.
same argument from incredulity that we hear with the flat Earth? Of course it is. What does
Yeah,
it
it
not
can.
take into account? The fact of relative frame of reference. Now, if you are a disinterested third party sitting at a fixed spot in the universe,
Ooh.
these numbers all make sense because they're true. However, if you're on the Earth, you're revolving on that Earth at 1,038 miles an hour, just like the ground is. So your relative motion to the Earth is zero. One of the questions that I've often asked the flat Earth, and I'll ask the young creationists the same way. They maintain that we should feel this rotation if the Earth was indeed rotating. Okay, in what direction would we feel the rotation? So far, I haven't been able to get a good answer on that. Well, let's go ahead and continue. Let's see what else he has for us. Maybe we'll find some other familiar ground.
Questions begin to arise. Why is it that we see the same stars in the sky every night? Why is it that we can see distant objects that should have dipped below the horizon? Why is it that no matter how high we go, the horizon is always flat? Why is it that we feel...
Why is it that you're so
Why
fucking
is it
dumb?
that
Or
every
extremely
single
manipulative?
One
One of the
has been
two.
answered. Yet still,
One
in
of the two
January
has
of
to be wrong.
2020,
Right.
you asked the same questions. Are you not listening? So let's look at a couple of them. The skyline of Chicago across Lake Michigan. Given the observation height of the cameraman and the weather conditions on that day and the distance and the height of the buildings, we should have seen them. We should have seen the skyline of Chicago. Surprise, surprise. We did. Do we see
Shelf
it every
anger,
day?
where
No,
are you?
because it is a meteorological effect. It is a mirage. Now, let's look at the question of the stars. Can we see the North Star from the Northern Hemisphere all year long? Of course we can. It's directly above the North Pole. All we have to do is look north in the sky. Can we see Orion all year long? No. We only see Orion in the winter in the Northern Hemisphere. So once again, what we're dealing with is a narrative. This is a narrative that has to fit in order for their entire worldview to work. And anytime anybody questions it, what they do is they ignore the explanation given. They ignore the evidence that is given. They wait 2 weeks and they ask the same question again. It's
Yep.
almost maddening. How many times do we have to explain these things before you understand that your entire outlook here is incorrect? I don't think it'll ever happen because the narrative is more important than the data. Let's continue.
I'm out of range.
The truth can be found in one place and one place only, and that is the Bible. Today, we'll be taking a tour through God's holy word to determine if we truly are on a fast-paced
Dang
road
it, should have
hurtling
killed him.
through a chaotic universe, or if there is another reality, one far more believable.
Now, do you notice the use of language that he's using?
To be honest, I don't know why he
This is
even
what they are
survived.
telling
They
us.
used frost shock, yes.
Okay.
Could
As
have
opposed
probably
to,
killed him with
this
flame
is what
shock,
your book
but
is telling us. I guess they and your book are two different things. The other thing is the use of the term believable. When it comes to religion, you're dealing with a matter of faith. When you're coming to science, you're dealing with a matter of data. In the debunking community, there are many people that proudly say that they are atheists. I'm fine with that. That's a choice that they made based on their evaluation of their lives. I have other people in the debunking community and in fact in
Oh my
science in
God.
general that are people of deep faith.
wait, no.
I can
No,
respect
no,
that as well.
no.
Again,
Fuck.
that is from an assessment of their outlook on life. The difference between a scientist of faith and somebody like this that's trying to promote a narrative is a scientist does not confuse his faith with his data. So in these coming episodes, I'm going to explore this to some depth. I'm going to get a lot of comments, I think. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of preempt a few of them. I am not an atheist.
Can't believe this.
What my faith is and the magnitude of my faith is, quite frankly, none of the concern of YouTube in general. I do respect people of faith. I respect people that don't have faith. I respect people who don't go to church but live their lives in a good way and treat others with respect. I don't respect people that go to church on the weekend, forget what they heard on Monday, and spend the week living a bad life and treating people with no respect at all, and then asking for forgiveness the next weekend. I can't respect that. I can't respect people who claim to have strong religious beliefs and be good Christians, for example, that swear at me in chats, that assault my integrity and my morals and me personally because of an idea that I'm putting out. I don't think that's a very Christian way to treat people. And I see the hypocrisy. I don't respect people who try and talk about a idea or a narrative they have, like young earth creationism, and falsify their data. They know enough about radiometric dating to understand that a certain test will not give them a valid result. They lied to the lab about the sample that they're submitting, and then they flaunt the fact that they got an erroneous result. Now, that was the Mount St. Helens rock that was put in and used potassium argon dating with a half-life of 1.3 billion years. So, we're going to go ahead and continue this episode next week. I'm going to start off with chapter 1. There's a total of 9 chapters. Some of them may require 2 episodes because they're kind of long. But I think that it is a very exciting and interesting documentary. I've got a link to it in case you can't wait, but the fun part is me talking about it. So make sure you hit that little like and subscribe button down there in the lower right corner. Hit the bell so that you know when the videos come out. And I'll be seeing you again soon. This is Bob the Science Guy signing out from Northern Michigan. Thanks again for stopping by. Take care.
True horde lusts for power.
I need to target something first. target. Target something
Watch
first.
out, because that's no ordinary gas cloud.
Wow, YouTube works again.
Ahoy hoy, I'm Planetwalk, the host of Flat Earth News, and happy Star Wars Day. May the Force be with. Uh-oh! So, another month has come and gone, and nothing much has really happened with Flat Earth, although that's not surprising. But Riley is trying to sue Ranty now. So the reason why this is happening is Ranty recently did a stream in which he said that he would give all the super chats to Roxanne, that's Roxanne the Globalist Denier. And in that stream, Ranty made over $1,000 in super chats. Wait, that can't be right. No way. He did, he made over $1,000 in super chats. That's more than my monthly NASA shield check. I'm gonna have to talk to NASA about that. Wait, is this not... So after getting that large amount of money, Ranty only gave Roxanne the Globalist Denier £40. And when you only look at that, it does look pretty bad for Ranty. You know, someone getting a whole lot of money in super chats, they're not paying the person that they're supposed to pay. Wonder if we've seen that before. However, there is a bit of a catch. Some people specified whether they wanted their money to go towards Ranty or Roxanne. And indeed, I did see some people that wanted their money to go towards Roxanne. But when it came to the big donations, the person that made them said that they wanted their money to go to Ranty. Now, to be fair, I have not seen a statement that he wants the money to go towards Ranty. The stream was over 4 hours long, so I didn't have time to go through the whole thing. However, Riley seems to acknowledge that he did want the money to go towards Ranty. And if Riley is acknowledging it, then it's most likely the case, because otherwise Riley would just have to go, well, where's the evidence that he wanted the money to go towards Ranty? Instead, Riley's claim is that Sam Hines' intentions don't matter. Sam Hines is the person that made the large donations, by the way. Now, one small thing that I want to note is, isn't it a little hypocritical of Riley, of all people, to complain about someone else not paying money that they owe?
I bet you £1,000 solar eclipses happen every single month.
But that aside, another factor is the admission of Roxanne that the money was meant for Ranty. But on top of that, there's also the fact that Ranty encouraged people to go to Roxanne's PayPal to pay her because that goes through immediately. Now, to me personally, it doesn't look as though Riley has much of a case, and I could be wrong about that. Some of the information that I may have found may be incorrect. But if it does turn out that Ranty owes Roxanne money, then I'm pretty sure that Riley needs to pay someone £1,000.
Wait, isn't Rodden
why is
that
Riley
Titan
stirring
that
all this
died
drama
in like
and not
the
Roxanne herself? So yeah,
or
there's still
that
a lot
was
that I don't know about this, but
wait.
hopefully things will be cleared up. Anyway, next bit of news. Ahoy hoy! I am Alexa Jonas,
there's
and I don't like that they're putting chemicals in the water that's making me want to eat your ass. So yes, Alex Jonas
Yeah, I
has gone
think
crazy
there's like
again. Was he ever not crazy? So Alex Jones has
his
decided
palace
to
or
go on
something
a bit of a rant about how he
over
would
there. He
eat
was a
his
titan and he
neighbours.
died. I don't know, remember how or why
I will
he
eat
was
my
killed by
neighbors.
somebody.
I'm not letting my kids die.
So on this show,
And
Alex
I'm pretty
Jones
yeah,
talks
right.
about
And
if he were to run out of food,
later
how
on
he
that
would
became
eat
the
his
weapon
neighbours,
of,
and
for
he went
shames
into
in
quite a bit
Legion.
of detail.
The melee
Now,
weapon.
I'm not going to go into too much detail on it because some of his descriptions were pretty graphic, and I feel like talking about that might get this video demonetized. However, I think what this shows is that Alex Jones shouldn't be taken seriously. I mean, he shouldn't have been taken seriously before, but this is even more of a reason not to take him seriously. It actually baffles me that there are some people around the globe that take Alex Jones seriously. Even the Flat Earthers don't take Alex Jones seriously, and, well, they think the Earth is flat. But the rather concerning part is that Alex Jones has custody of his kids. Now, I'm not saying that he should never get to see his kids, but he doesn't seem like the right person to have custody of his kids. To me, it seems like his ex-wife Kelly Jones is far more responsible and should have primary custody of the kids. And there are things that can be set up where Alex can visit his kids for maybe an hour a week, but Kelly would be the main person taking care of them. At least that way, they wouldn't have to worry about eating their neighbours. Of course, there are other problems with Alex Jones being a parent, like the fact that he was recently arrested for drink driving. And also, he doesn't allow his kids to get vaccinated. Now, one of the reasons why I bring up the whole kid stuff is because Kelly Jones is trying to get back custody of her kids. And this has been going on for a fair while. I will leave a link to a Twitter thread by Kelly Jones in the description if you'd like to read more about it. But one of the funny things is how Alex Jones stated what he said.
I will eat your ass.
Yeah, Alex Jones definitely could have had a better choice of words. Basically, it's turned into a meme now.
I will eat your ass. Eat your ass.
Turn the frog gay.
I will eat your ass.
No, turns
So
the
yes, there are
frog
concerning
gay.
things about what Alex
Turns
Jones
the
is
frogs
saying,
gay.
But at the same time, there is a bit of entertainment in poking fun at him. But anyway, a flat earther recently
Oh no, he
went
says
onto a show
turns the
called Millionaire
frickin'
Hot Seat,
frogs gay.
which is very similar to Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. In fact, I think it's produced by the same people. It's just got a slightly different format. Now, what happened when she went on this show is she was asked a question about spelling. And now that is probably the worst thing that you can ask a flat earther, space comma. The question was, which of these words is spelled correctly? Misdirect, misspell, misfit, or misnomer, each spelled with 2 S's. Now when it comes to these types of shows, usually it has to do with general knowledge, like something along the lines of, who was King Henry VIII married to? But this one, you can very easily work it out. So an easy way to work this one out is to realise that the prefix miss only has 1 S in it. And when it comes to something like misspell, what you're doing is you're joining spell with miss, so therefore you get 2 S's. Of course, the flat earther chose misfit, which is a terrible choice. It wouldn't have been quite as bad if she had chosen something like misnomer, but misfit, I don't know how you get that wrong. Now, one of the interesting things that she said on the show is that flat earth isn't a theory, it's true. Now, I have to agree with her on one thing. Flat earth isn't a theory, but that's because it's not true. As many people probably know, in science, a theory is a well-substantiated set of ideas which have predictive power and explanations, which flat earth has none of. But anyway, time to talk about coronavirus. Now, before everyone gets depressed about all the stupidity that's going on, I just want to bring up someone who is a flat earther, yet he seems to be acting at least somewhat responsibly about coronavirus. It is, of course, my personal favourite flat earther, Ranty. Now, as much as this may surprise some people, I'm not being sarcastic or facetious there. I actually think that Ranty is being far more responsible than most other flat earthers. It seems that Ranty does want people to take precautions and to, you know, act responsibly. And I get that there are other flat earthers trying to push this message as well. But I have seen a lot of people in Ranty's comments trying to convince him that the coronavirus is a hoax. So I do respect Ranty for not just following what all the other flat earthers are saying. I mean, what he's saying is actually better than what Elon Musk is saying about coronavirus. what's the world coming to? I'm criticizing Elon Musk in the same video that I'm praising a flat earther. What? So yes, Elon Musk has decided to be stupid. I generally like Elon Musk, but not when he's being stupid. So on Twitter, Elon Musk has been complaining about lockdown, and I get it, lockdown sucks, but do you want to know what else sucks? Getting coronavirus. Now I do understand that some people doubt whether lockdown works, but in New Zealand, lockdown is working. We have less than 200 active cases currently. And recently, the new cases each day have all been in the single digits. In fact, one of them has actually been 0 new cases in a single day. That was the most recent. And also, another dumb thing that Elon Musk did is he tweeted that the stock value of Tesla is too high, and it went down by a lot. But then there's also Trump. How did the United States elect him again? So everyone's heard it recently. Donald Trump suggested that injecting disinfectant might help cure coronavirus. Now, depending on who you ask, he might have been being sarcastic. Or he wasn't talking about injecting bleach, he was talking about injecting sunlight? How? So people are now unironically suggesting that you can inject UV light to irradiate the blood to cure coronavirus. There is no evidence to suggest that irradiating the blood is an effective measure to treat coronavirus. Please stop defending Donald Trump for the stupid shit he says. Admit when he says stupid shit, okay? Initially, I started this show to talk about the shenanigans of flat earthers because flat earthers were doing very stupid stuff. But the stupid stuff that everyone else is doing is making the flat earthers look smart. Good job, humanity. So, a high note, Hubble recently had its 30th birthday. That's pretty cool. I'll see you in the next video between you and me. Thank you for watching.
Chugga 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 choo choo.
Chugga 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 chugga. Chugga 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 choo 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 choo.
Chugga 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 choo choo.
Chugga 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 chugga. Chugga 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 choo 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 choo. Chugga 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 choo 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 choo. Chugga 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 chugga.
No, he destroyed, or she, or whoever. They destroyed my thing.
I usually do Jehovah's Witness videos, but I study cults in general, not just Jehovah's Witnesses, so this time I'm doing a Mormon video by request. Mormons are very similar to Jehovah's Witnesses, and as such, I have empathy for everybody on the inside. Not just the people who are trapped and don't believe it anymore, but the people who still believe it and who are being manipulated by leadership, just like with Jehovah's Witnesses. Not to mention the people who have been shunned by family members, just like with Jehovah's Witnesses. With that being said, let's get into it.
That is a great idea, and I suggest you read that scripture to the young women today. Guillermo.
Huh?
How is Steve Tanner doing?
What? Oh, in the last 3 years since they moved in, I've seen him about once.
Dead silence. Notice how that whole situation played out. Guillermo was asked how some random dude was doing by the elder, or whoever the hell this dude is, and Guillermo said he doesn't really talk to him. Then there's dead silence, implying that nobody really cares how he's doing. They just want something out of Guillermo.
I mean, we text him and call him and everything.
I can't use that.
Would you be willing to go by his house before our meetings today and invite him to church.
Yeah, sure thing.
What is with the look on these chicks' faces? What are they thinking?
Excellent. Let me know how it goes in our next leadership meeting.
Hey, Steve.
Hey, it's Guillermo, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so this kid was asked to show up to some dude's house. And this dude doesn't even know him well enough to know how to pronounce his name correctly. But he showed up, just like a faithful servant of God.
It's okay, it's a hard name. But it's been a while. How are you? Cool life. So, the bishop was wondering if you'd like to go to church today.
That whole church thing that goes down there, so...
That's okay.
All right.
No problem.
Thanks for stopping by.
Now, I was never Mormon, so I can't speak to how they're trained, but if it's anything like Jehovah's Witnesses, I'll tell you how this really would have played out. Now, keep in mind, this is a video showing people how to handle situations like this, so eventually we'll get to the part where they'll tell you how to handle it correctly. But a Jehovah's Witness would have asked a follow-up question like, can I ask why you feel that way? Or what makes you say that? An open-ended question, not a yes or no question. It's something we learned all about in psychology classes when I was in college.
Why aren't you dressed for BYC?
Mom, that was yesterday.
Did they change it
Hi.
this week to a Saturday?
What?
Okay, I get it. It's some kind of time warp thing, where he keeps going back in time Groundhog Day style until he gets the dude to come to church.
That is a great idea, and I suggest you read that scripture to the young women today. Irmo,
Yes?
how's Steve Tanner doing?
I haven't done anything since yesterday.
You saw him yesterday. That's great.
You got my text, remember?
I must have missed that. Could you go by his house and invite him to church today?
Sure.
Excellent.
I guess I'll just skip forward and show you the important parts. I'm not spending 15 minutes watching this dude fail miserably. As a side note, check out this little nerd with his legs crossed. Those ears are the size of Texas.
Would you like to come?
Now, I'm really busy those nights.
Okay. What do you say? Let's go.
I just don't have the suit anymore.
You need a suit? Oh, Haley will be there.
Thanks, but...
You remember Haley, right? Hey, Steve.
Guillermo.
Is this dude trolling his Facebook page?
Guillermo. Guillermo. Did you hear what I said?
What's the point? What's the point? He's never going to come. We've tried everything.
We have tried everything. Who is this we? It's a collective mindset. He identifies as part of the group. He is the group. The Mormon Church has tried everything because he has tried everything.
I agree with you. It isn't always easy. It also isn't impossible. Some wounds are large and they require time to heal.
The message? Try a less direct approach.
Be more cunning. Be more shithead. Be human trash.
Right there.
I know what's on.
God.
We just gotta make it work, okay?
So now this kid has found a weak point. He's currently sitting in church, thinking about how to exploit it. There's something up with the kid's mom, and now this dude is gonna manipulate the other guy into accepting Jesus into his heart. Standard cult mind control tactics.
Yeah, usually you go after them after a family member dies. You piece of shit.
Hey, Steve. Hey, it's Imma. Lord. Hey, Steve.
Hey, Guillermo.
Do you need any help?
No, I'm almost done.
It would be nice to see you at church. Well, not if you don't want to.
If he really thought Steve was a dead end, like Steve was never coming to church and never being a part of this, he would never talk to the dude again. His only interest in this guy is getting him to be a part of his cult. More standard cult psychology. Make them think that you don't care if they come, so that they'd be more willing to come.
So tell me about your bike.
Change the subject, befriend him, get him to open up to you so he trusts you more, and then he'll come to your church.
Guillermo, looking good. Trying to impress the ladies at school?
And the cycle is broken.
Let us reach out to rescue those who need our help and lift them to the higher road and the better way. The work of reactivation is no task for the idler or daydreamer. Time waits for no man. Do not postpone a prompting, rather act on it, and the Lord will open the way. Frequently, the heavenly virtue of patience is required.
Hey, you guys want to come with me and my family to church this Sunday?
Sure.
Oh.
This is a rank propaganda video put out by the Mormon Church to teach its members how to manipulate people into joining. Find their weak spots, say the right words at the right time, lie, do whatever it takes to get somebody into the church. If they're not interested, drop them and move on to the next person. And if you feel like I stretched this a little bit, as some people do in many of my videos, it's because you're so sucked into the mentality that you can't see it for what it is. It's manipulation and mind control tactics. Don't fool yourself.
So all I have to do is run away from people that have AoE bullshit on them? Guess? I don't know, I've never done this before.
It's too far away. of range.
Ooh, my damage wasn't even that bad. I mean, it wasn't good either, but... Wow. Wow.
Definitely not.
Oh, the dude almost pulled. I have no idea why nothing is happening. I'd like to know though, is the boss, they talking to each other, the tanks? What is happening?
I need to target something first.
Nope. That was cool. Sadly, it didn't deal enough damage. That would be such a cool attack if it just instantly would have wiped the whole raid. I would have loved that.
Target something first. I need to get closer.
Whoa. Okay.
Dare you defile this temple?
Can you reset the boss? Wait.
Your soul to shreds!
Whoa. Yeah.
Four, three, two, one.
Servants arise! Your master calls!
Not enough mana.
No. Fucking idiots.
So I read this thing where there are two people kind of arguing, and one really liked the movie, thought it was valuable, and the other one thought it was garbage. And as they were, and as they were kind of arguing back and forth, I felt like each of their arguments got stronger and more specific as they went back and forth. And so I was sitting there reading this piece, and I was like, oh, that's fucking incredible, because when I read the guy's opinion who didn't like the movie, didn't think I was good. I was like, those are all strong points. I totally got it. And then the other guy responded. He said, well, this is why I disagree. And I was like, that's a really good point too.
The idea that all of a sudden that inspires all the underbelly of the city, all the 99 percenters to rise up. It felt very underdeveloped to me.
It's happened in history where an incident sparks a revolution, Joe.
I mean, maybe if they built up to it, sprinkle it in, like grows and grows. It was like immediately they cut to hundreds of people rallying.
They did establish it by saying constantly, like the very first scene when he's putting on the makeup, it's the people on the news are talking about how there's garbage everywhere.
Oh yeah,
well, you see
that. You see,
strike. And you know, garbage men are in a union probably, so there's this sort of city funding issue.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, this world, he's saying to his therapist, he's like, everything's fucking awful, isn't it? She's like, yeah. And so you could feel in all the scenes are all gross and ugly looking, and there's all these problems, and you could feel that, like, that hatred of the rich guy. It's the complete inverse of the Batman story. That's enough.
And then the next guy's argument changed, and so it was just interesting to see that they were kind of elevating each other's perspectives and position on the movie by having this conversation. And I thought that was the coolest. There was no part of me that was like, the guy doesn't like it, he just doesn't get it. There was one part that I think that he missed. that just because he felt in the movie, Joker commits these crimes on a subway, and there's not really any witnesses. But soon after, the media, the newspapers say, kill the rich, killer clown on the loose, and they said, it's a real plot hole and it's lazy writing. How would you know that? How would the media know that he was starting this movement to kill the rich?
It just feels bizarre to me that the Joker shooting 3 people on a train is what incites, because it's like right after that we see all these protesters.
And it's like, no, that's precisely the point, is the media sensationalized this thing and created this narrative, but they didn't know what it was, and he wasn't trying to kill the rich and create this movement, right? Yeah. And they go, motherfucker, you're in the media, like, well, how did you miss, maybe that's why. Right? So that's like the only thing that I'd say, well, that I think that you missed the point of what that is about, right? And why the newspaper says that. It's a commentary about the media. And so you missed that. So that would be the only kind of criticism that I think that I'd say, like, you missed that point.
Bind me, gag me, take me to the bunny ranch. People dying, kill me in the packing house. Even you have to...
Hey! I'm Macaulay Culkin. Yeah, remember me? All right, obviously you do, because this is my podcast. So, this week, actually, we have amazing guests, plural. It's the guys from Red Letter Media. So for you guys that don't know Red Letter Media, they did this amazing multi-part Star Wars review from their character Plinkett, which are actually longer than the movies themselves, and I prefer them over the movies. So if you don't know them, definitely go check it out. And also they have this show Half in the Bag, where they do reviews of modern movies. There's also a show called Review, whatever. I'm not here to tell you their whole resume, but we have a great time. I hope you like talking about ghosts. Yeah, here we go. These happy days are yours and mine.
Sure, why not?
Yeah, why not? Why not start the podcast? Get this thing over with. Am I right, jerks?
That's what I'm all about.
Yeah. So we'll introduce everybody. Across from me is Rich Evans. Say hello.
Hello, I am Rich Evans.
Nice. Well done. And to my right, you got J Bomber.
Hello, I'm Rich Evans.
Yes, nice.
AJ Bomb.
Whoops.
Bombin?
And then we have Mike Stoglasa.
That is absolutely correct.
Nice. So Stoglasa, is that a family name?
It's my name.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's Czech.
Yes. Oh, I was going to guess Polish. So that was, yeah.
It means drinker of beers.
It does, really?
Yes, it does.
Oh my gosh.
It means this crazed alcoholic. No, it doesn't. It means
damn.
So like a farmer, or who cares?
I always thought it was a stage name.
Yeah, that's what you picked. Yeah.
You
Mike
thought it means stage in Czech?
That's exactly. I thought it was literally a stage name.
Yeah, it was actually Smith, but that was taken.
I think it is kind of like a Smith.
Yeah.
In Czechoslovakia, a common name.
Common name.
Yeah.
All right, nice. So
Wait.
it's Red Letter Media people.
What?
Check this out. I'm in Milwaukee right now. I got taken around yesterday.
We had a grand tour of the entire city.
Yes.
So sorry.
No, it was great fun. We went to the Bobblehead Museum. Mm-hmm. They were very excited to have us there because we got it right up there.
Yeah.
Home Alone bobbleheads.
Yeah, you got a Macaulay Culkin in your office now. Yeah, that's right. Always looking over you guys.
Yeah. I asked permission if we could film there, and I said, I have Macaulay Culkin in the car downstairs. I said, what? He wants to
Get out of here, you fucking weirdo! Oh God, can I swear?
Of course you can.
Oh my God!
He wants to point at all your bobbleheads. I think she thought I was crazy.
Yeah.
She's just hitting a button under her desk.
I like how they get so many crackpots. They actually have a button under their desk.
Oh yeah. You can't be too cautious at the Bobblehead Museum.
Yeah, exactly. You never know. Well, they said it's the only bobblehead museum in the world. That's what they said. I find that dubious. There's got to be another museum out there somewhere.
I think it's the kind of thing you would just assume. Anyone who makes a bobblehead museum would just assume it's the only one in the world.
Exactly.
Even though it's foreign.
Nobody else is gonna do this.
Yeah, I'm the only one. I'm the only one crackpot enough to do it.
Well, the weird thing is they had the Hall of Fame exclusive bobbleheads, which I don't think is true. Like they had that logo on them, right? That said exclusive to the Bobblehead Museum or something.
Yeah, it's on the box.
Yeah,
it's not a sticker either. It's on the box.
Yeah.
They manufacture them or are connected to the manufacturer or something.
I bet you, they have a relationship with bobblehead makers at this point. It's just good business. So, Mike, you believe in ghosts.
Oh boy.
Let's go right to the chase.
I've had my position made very clear. I'm a open-minded skeptic.
Gotcha. Yeah, because you like watching those shows.
I love
Ghost
those
Hunters.
shows from almost like a guilty pleasure perspective, where as an editor, I watch them and I know all the tricks.
Yeah.
And then I find some things fascinating, but then I'm also like, okay, how do I know that wasn't faked?
Yeah.
Or how do I know that this person's telling the truth? So I find it all fascinating, kind of from
Spoiler: they're not telling you.
Rich, I've watched a lot of programming.
Yeah, I know. You should see Mike's face. Come on.
I've been to many haunted locations, and I've had zero experiences of paranormal activity. So
We've actually done a ghost investigation.
Never seen, never aired. We never did anything with it.
Because everyone was too fucking drunk.
Well, and we didn't accomplish anything.
Oh my God, that's right. We stayed in that haunted
You just
room.
remembered.
Yeah.
The Brumder Mansion here in Milwaukee.
Yeah, which is
The Brumder Mansion. We
not
filmed an episode of Best of the Worst there, and while we were there, we dug out the ghost hunting equipment.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah, you guys don't have a spirit box, do you?
No.
No.
No, I know. Gotta get a spirit box for you guys.
The spirit box, for those who don't know, cycles through radio signals.
Mm-hmm.
And then when someone in a van outside of the production location hits a button, it makes magic voices appear.
Yeah.
For the ghost hunting crew. Get out. Satan. Oh my God, did it just say Satan? Some production assistant's typing in the words that it wants it to say. So you never know.
So you never know. So I'm open-minded.
I'm open-minded.
Which shows do you like? Which ones? Because I don't even know these shows at all.
Well, I've been a fan of Ghost Adventures for a very long time now.
That sounds like a cartoon from the 70s.
It's a very bad title.
Yeah.
That was the name of their first documentary, where they captured, coincidentally, they captured their most amazing evidence ever.
What?
In their very first documentary, which got them their TV show. The full body apparition. And
quote unquote evidence.
And some like a brick launched itself off the floor, and they had an actual scientist or a physicist come in and go, it's not attached to a string. I know, because I'm a scientist.
And you can't manipulate footage.
Was he wearing a lab coat? That'd be great.
Yeah, so it was like, okay, and then they got their show on Travel Channel, and I watched it, and still watch it, although the quality's dipped quite a bit in the last 16 seasons.
It's like one of those shows that's like 16 seasons, like in like 4 years.
No,
is it like The Voice?
That documentary is 2010, 2009 maybe.
Okay.
So they've been doing it for a very long time.
The best thing about Ghost Adventures is the host. It's that Zach Baggins. He's a character.
Yeah.
He's such a fraud. But it's like hilariously so. He's like this kind of jockey dude bro type guy.
They used to be more dude bro-ish early on. They'd be like, "Oh, dude, look out!" And then like,
and now he's
you feel that it's cold over here.
And now they're like, they dress all in like black leather, and they look like a rock band, and it's taken on.
They turn like a bunch of Chris Angels.
Yes.
Yeah. That's how I always felt about Art Bell. A wonderfully entertaining fraud.
That's a skill.
Yeah.
Being that much of a blatant fraud. That takes talent.
I didn't care whether or not Art Bell believed it was highly entertaining.
Well, yeah. Art Bell was always like kind of the mediator. He never really took a side, right? Or what?
I mean, he had his. He was presenting himself as a believer in conspiracies and whatnot, but.
I guess I'm thinking of George Norrie more so. It's sort of like you can't. He's just sort of like, I really don't believe you, but I'm going to let you keep talking.
Yeah.
Kind of thing, because the crackpots call in and they say the strangest things. That's another paranormal-ish show that Rich and myself.
Which show is this?
It's called Coast to Coast AM. It's on at midnight.
Well, is it a radio show?
A radio show.
Yeah. Oh,
Is
nice.
it still on?
It's been on for like 40
Well,
years.
Art Bell is dead.
He died, yeah,
There's a new host who's extremely boring.
Wait,
and I no longer listen.
Did he not come back as a ghost?
He did not come back. As a ghost.
That's why people keep listening in hopes that they'll hear him in the background.
That was supposedly Harry Houdini's final trick.
Yes, he had a secret word.
Yeah, and he just died.
Well, because he told his wife a secret word, and he goes, if you go to a seance or something, and they say you're talking to your dead husband. I'm going to say I forget what it was, but it's been revealed now. But it's something like bread basket or something stupid like that.
He went around the last part of his life just debunking phony mediums.
Yeah, because he was perfectly qualified. He was a magician.
Yeah, he knew all the goddamn tricks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
from Milwaukee too.
He's from Milwaukee.
Really?
Houdini, or Racine, or Kenosha?
Oh, I didn't know that. Wow.
You know who's not from Milwaukee? You fraud!
Oh, yeah? Where you
and also you, and also Jay.
None of us are from Milwaukee.
Yeah, none of us are from Milwaukee. That's crazy.
How the fuck did we end up in Milwaukee?
How did we end up in
a lifetime of bad decisions?
Life's a series of choices, and we all made some.
Jay went to school up here, and then we came up to visit him.
Yeah.
And then they never left.
I was there.
Oh, no.
I was there.
Do you remember when that happened?
Do you remember? Where you from originally?
Chicago suburbs.
You seem like a Chicago guy.
Yeah.
Hungary.
Yeah, it seems like
What the fuck is happening to
a
his
crew
face?
member in a
They-
John
oh,
Hughes
they-
movie. Like,
No, I was too
okay.
poor to be in a John Hughes movie.
No, a crew member. You totally look like a Chicago Teamster. Yeah.
The characters in John Hughes
The end,
movies are
it's
very
probably
specific. Very specific.
Jay? I think he's
Rich
Jay.
white kids who have no idea they're rich.
Yes. Yeah.
Whose parents are really
Oh, no,
they're
Rich.
terrible, actually. Like,
Oh,
accidentally
God, I
terrible,
forgot
or
his name.
just missing altogether.
Yeah, that's a reoccurring theme in all of his movies.
This
I
dude.
gotta share something
Oh, Mike's
real
on the
quick.
phone.
No, I'm looking up Harry Houdini really quick.
Okay.
He was born in Budapest, and it says family
It's the
lives on
only one that
Street
is not
in an
playing
area that is
it.
now called Houdini Square. On June 6, 1882, became American citizen. Father moved the family to Milwaukee and fell into dire poverty. Whoops. So I'd share that real quick.
Do we know where Zach Baggins is from?
Zach Baggins is from Illinois, a Chicago suburb. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Just like you, Rich.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys have so much in common.
All the frauds come from Illinois.
Yeah.
The best thing about Zach Baggins is his voice. Like anything he says, it just instantly makes me laugh. He has like this. It's just like tries to have this gravitas, but he just sounds like, I don't know, like he's completely full of it, and it makes me laugh every time he opens.
It's like a
his
stage
mouth.
voice.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Well, there's pictures of him. What's it? The Zach Baggins Haunted Museum.
Yeah.
And there's all. If you look at like the promo pictures for it, he's wearing like a top hat and doing like these theatrical like arm movements.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Well, Mike, you're wearing the sweatshirt, the Zach Baggins Museum sweatshirt right today.
Yes, I've been there twice. Jay's been there once.
I was there, yeah.
Yeah.
It was horribly hungover when we went, but it was fun.
Yeah, it's neat. It's a neat place. There's lots of artifacts and like Ed Gein's cauldron is there.
Yeah, that's the more stuff I'm interested in, not this paranormal stuff.
Yeah, but the true crime kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yes, there's a serial killer section and
and John Wayne Gacy paintings. And that stuff.
Kevorkian's death van.
There's existing John. I thought they burned all of the John Wayne Gacy paintings.
They had John Wayne Gacy.
No,
paintings,
the
right?
Pogo the Clown still exists.
Yeah, but there was like when they executed him, there was like a big fucking bonfire.
I don't know.
And people were just burning his paintings.
Well, maybe he made a lot of paintings.
He did do a lot of
Yeah,
paintings.
he had a lot of time on his hands in prison. Yeah.
John Wayne Gacy, also from Illinois, right?
Look at that.
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
All the crackpots from the Midwest. Yeah.
I know they did a movie about John Wayne Gacy starring Francis from Pee-wee's Big Adventure. as
Really?
Gacy.
That's
I was
perfect.
That is
That
wonderful
actually seems
casting.
pretty apt. Yeah.
I haven't seen it. I'm sure it's terrible, but...
Is that the Gacy versus Dahmer movie?
No, that's more recent.
Okay.
This was like in the early 2000s. There was all these direct-to-video serial killer movies. Like there was that. There was a Ted Bundy movie. What is it? BTK Killer, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think there was one of those. It's like this weird little trend. Direct-to-video serial killer movies.
Yeah. Wait, I just want to go back. There was a Dahmer versus Gacy movie?
Yeah,
Like a
we
B
have
movie?
it. We have the DVD. We haven't watched it.
But it's like a B movie, kind of like. Yeah.
I'm sure it's incredibly tasteful.
Yes, I'm sure it's
Treat
very.
the subject matter with the respect.
With the respect and the to the victims and everything. Yeah.
Considering our mutual interests, they should have teamed up.
Maybe it's one of those things where they start out fighting and then they
And it turns into like a road trip movie or something. Like
buddy comedy.
Yeah, buddy comedy.
You kill them, I'll eat them. They high five each other.
That's the trailer line right there.
Yeah.
At the end of the trailer.
Yeah, you found it right away. Well, Dahmer, there's another person from Milwaukee.
Oh, yeah.
Just a bunch of gems. It's just
There's something about the Midwest.
Illinois and Wisconsin. Because Ed Gein is from Wisconsin, too.
Yeah.
So many serial killers. And rich.
And rich. What? What I do?
I mean, that's literally true. There are serial killers in Wisconsin and rich.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the implication's supposed to be.
Don't look at my basement.
Don't look at my basement.
Don't look at my basement. There's nothing in there.
Don't you hurt my dog. So, Rich, I hear you have a ghost story of
No,
some
I
sort?
don't have a ghost story because ghosts don't exist.
Is it an anti-ghost story? I don't know this story. Mike mentioned it the other day.
Yeah, and we were like, save it for the podcast. So.
Yeah, okay, well here.
If you're comfortable.
Yeah, only if you're comfortable.
Here's my not a ghost story because ghosts don't exist. After my grandmother had passed, I was still living in her house, but like we're just throwing stuff out constantly. She was basically a hoarder.
Yeah.
And
we were burning all of her things. We destroyed her piano, throwing all of her trash, her life possessions, in the street.
Yeah.
That would anger any ghost.
Yeah. It's starting a dumpster fire with other worldly possessions. Yeah.
She was watching you from beyond the grave as you smashed her piano in a monkey costume.
Is this actually true?
This is true.
You got into a monkey costume and smashed your grandma's piano?
Oh yeah, no, this is footage.
Yeah, I knew about the monkey
It's a
costume.
totally different story. And now I gotta tell that one. Oh my god.
You're stuck.
When I was getting rid of all this crap from my grandmother's house, I asked Mike to help me. And Mike helped me take out my grandmother's old player piano by having me dress up in a monkey costume, and then he just filmed me while I tried to get it out.
Well, sort of. It weighed like 700 pounds. I mean, it was huge and big and heavy, and it was like, okay, do we lift it down these stairs, or do we break it into lots of little pieces? Because we're just going to throw it out. So I was like, well, we're breaking it. Let's make a little short movie. And Rich.
So you break that
monkey suit, monkey.
You break that apart with a hammer in a monkey suit in this fucking 90-degree July weather, and I'm gonna film it.
There was no working air conditioning.
Thanks for your help, Mike.
Thanks for helping me move.
I remember we got like the heaviest part, like the soundboard or whatever the fuck it is. The second that ended up out on the porch, Mike had to go. The second it was out the door, so just on the porch, Mike's like, I gotta go. Bye, Rich.
I got my footage.
I got my footage of you in a monkey suit. Hit up the piano.
Jackass.
The best part of that little video, I guess is quite the sidetrack here, but I was wearing a t-shirt and I was just sweating. And he's wearing clothes and a monkey costume. You just like snap.
Yeah,
and he just like starts screaming at me. And I just kept filming him.
Oh yeah, are you like trying to get out of the costume, but it was like duct taped or something in the back of it? So you couldn't get out?
There was a zipper in the back, so I wrapped him with electrical tape. And he almost died. Those are good times.
The 7 days.
I'm sweating my ass off in this monkey suit.
For your stupid Monkey Man projects. I remember that.
So I'm living in this house, and I was just sleeping on the couch because I was fine with that. But I had recently started going out with my current fiance, and she was staying over that one night, and it's like we don't want to share a damn couch, and there's my grandmother's old room. It's still got the bed in it.
His grandmother's bed.
Yeah, grandma's bed.
Was that wasn't like gold or something, the bed?
Everything was gold.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a whole nother story. So, you and your girlfriend climb into your dead grandmother's bed.
Yes.
Okay, keep going.
Keep going, go on.
We slept in that bed that night. We both had dreams of my grandmother being angry and demonic.
Covered with blood.
No, she had black eyes.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if she had black eyes in Karen's dream, but she did in mine. And you know what? That was a coincidence because my grandmother had recently died, and we were sleeping on her bed, and it was in our minds.
That's the question.
And the answer is it was a coincidence.
But similar dreams. Angry grandma.
Was it scary? Was it scary?
Sure, it was scary. It was a nightmare.
Oh, okay. Well, you said dream.
Karen's was also a nightmare.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, usually, I just, when I said demonic, I thought that was just implied.
Okay,
you don't usually have a pleasant dream about your demonic grandmother.
Well, you never know. She might have pie.
She might have just been like a little upset in Karen's dream. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And yours is she's the devil. But so I always found that story interesting.
Well, yeah, but
it's like it was both on both of your minds, and you both had the same dream because you're kind of thinking this is kind of weird.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Or from beyond, her spirit said, "Get out of my bed." In her own
Did you ever
special
sleep
way.
in her bed again?
No.
Why? Why? If it was just a coincidence, why would you not sleep in her bed?
It was, for one, it was just weird. Like, we did this for practical reasons. Like, we didn't want to both sleep on the damn couch and be falling off. So it's like, well, it's just here tonight. Let's sleep in the damn bed.
All right.
I won't press you anymore.
So back to the monkey suit. Have you ever done anything with the Monkey Man footage?
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
We've made many Monkey Man films.
Yes. It's like an ongoing project?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's stopped. It's ceased.
Yeah.
Well, we filmed something with you in the Monkey Man costume like a year or two ago for the end of The Best of the Worst. Remember that? We did like the 2001 parody where you're like beating the tapes with a bone.
Okay.
It's the same
Every
suit?
once in a while.
The same suit?
Yeah, I think so. Wait, no. Wait,
no.
I think at some point we had to get a new one.
I think the body is the same, but it's different head or something. I feel like some of it's still the original suit.
Yeah. The first one we made was called Monkey Man Gets His, right?
Yeah.
And it had your grandma in it.
She must have been so proud.
For the record, Mike has a fascination with my family and childhood. Like an unhealthy fixation. He would put my grandmother in our little high school movies whenever he could.
She was so weird. But she was a very lovely lady.
But she was weird.
She was super weird. But she had a funny voice, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I recorded her saying like all these like bizarre words, and I would just kind of loop it in the background and do stuff like that. But
yeah, so it seems like you're always like been filming, and you keep like every stitch of everything.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. You got like closets of VHSs and like 8mm. Did you ever do any snuff films?
Snuff films?
Yeah, any of those? Oh, okay, just checking.
Not intentionally.
Yeah.
Not intentionally, no.
That's paid off, though, holding on to weird old artifacts that led to the Dick the Birthday Boy picture.
Yes, I actually wanted to bring that up. So Dick the Birthday Boy. Yeah. Explain to me what happened.
Do you remember that magical day?
Do we need to explain the damn photo first?
You think we should for the audience?
Yeah.
Well, there's probably a lot of people that are familiar with the photo that don't know that it has any connection to us or anything.
Yeah, because it was on Ellen.
It showed up on Ellen. Like, it's just if you, I don't even remember, what is it you Google, like?
Dick the Birthday Boy?
Showbiz Pizza Bear.
Showbiz Pizza Bear. It's like the first thing that shows up, and it was on like, what is that? That subreddit for like cursed photos or something.
Cursed images and also awkward family photos.
Yeah.
Nice. Not in one of their printed cards, but on their website. I always check.
So it's it's taken on a life of its own.
Yes.
So when I was a kid, the standard operating procedure for birthdays for me and my siblings was to go to the local Showbiz Pizza. And if you don't know what Showbiz Pizza is, it was basically the precursor to Chuck E. Cheese.
I was going to say, it sounds like a Chuck E. Cheese-esque thing, yeah.
And instead of a giant rat, they had a Billy Bob the Bear.
And he had a band.
Billy Bob the Bear and the Rockafire Explosion Band. But you know, the big guy in the Billy Bear costume would walk around, interact with the children. And so there was a Polaroid photo of me on my... How old was I in that photo? Like
probably 5.
5 to 7 years old, whatever. At Showbiz Pizza on my birthday, photo with me and Billy Bob the Bear. And I am wearing a t-shirt that says, Dick the Birthday Boy. For the record, I have never gotten a straight answer from any of my living relatives why they made me wear a shirt that says Dick the Birthday Boy. I have no fucking idea who thought that was a good idea. If it was done deliberately or ignorantly, I don't know.
Most likely ignorantly.
Yeah.
It's Dick the Birthday Boy. I'm not thinking to put a comma in there. That it's now a phrase.
Oh, I never got that. Dick the Birthday Boy.
It's hypothetically possible that one of my uncles was just like snickering at everyone else behind their back. I got this shirt. That's hypothetically possible.
I don't know.
That's a pretty horrible thing to do maliciously to a 5-year-old.
Yeah, that's yeah. But the actual Polaroid, when after Grandma died, and I was helping Rich clean all the garbage out of his house, you were throwing out photos, like family photos in a garbage can.
Heartless bastard.
I am not a sentimental person, and I was just kind of done with that phase of my life.
Sure. But I saw that and a handful of others from that same birthday party, and a whole bunch of other Christmas photos, and you opening up like Star Wars toys, and I'm like, Rich, you can't throw all these out, and I just took them.
Did you tell Rich that you did that, or you just did you?
I had no idea.
I don't remember.
I was
don't think so,
completely shocked.
No, I think I just stole it. Yeah.
20 years later, when you sprung that on me, I was completely shocked.
The long game. Think about the long game.
What happened to those other Polaroids? Because I remember you had them back when we shot that episode.
I have them somewhere.
They're somewhere.
And I'm not sure. But
Mike is holding my family photos hostage.
Yes,
somewhere.
I was gonna say. Yeah, he's gonna all of a sudden pull out another one. Yeah, but the picture ended up on Ellen. It ended up all over the place. Like, yeah. Because I remember you had it on one of your shows, and then I remember seeing the Ellen thing. I'm like,
yeah. Well, that's what's
fucking Rich Evans.
I think at this point it's gotten large enough where people think that that episode where we show the photo is a reference to the existing.
And it's like, no, that came first.
No, it didn't. It was nowhere on the internet until that episode. We have a high-res scan of it somewhere. And that's, I think all the ones that float around,
scan of it,
all the
Polaroid.
ones that are floating around the internet are just like a screen grab from that episode.
Mhm.
I think.
Yeah.
Well, we've got the actual Polaroid frame.
We got it framed on the wall.
That's right over there.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh.
it's on-
Yeah, I want to see it. I'm gonna check it out. You know?
Just don't take it.
Don't know why we're not-
Just don't take
Put that thing in a safe.
We gotta insure it.
yes. Why don't you both make plans to what to do with my fucking personal items?
Hey, you threw it away, man. That's what you get.
Yeah, once it's in the trash, it's
fair
public
game.
domain.
It's fair game, dude. You threw it away.
So you guys also do like features and things like that. Space Cop, of course. So, how many features have you made, like for yourself, all in house kind of thing?
Well, I mean, we used to do like amateur movies and stuff.
We did crap when we were in high school. And I think
Yeah.
crap is the appropriate.
It seems like you guys were always doing stuff.
The first kind of like, I guess, real feature would probably be the Oranges movie that you guys did.
Yeah.
Would you even consider that a real feature?
It's like proto. It's proto real.
If it's like 70 minutes or more, it's a feature.
We've been doing that since
Oh yeah.
high school.
Yeah, I mean, like some 60 minutes, like some kind of horror movie,
yeah.
like but that's junk.
Yeah.
The
The ones
Oranges-
where we tried to be more professional, or
Yeah, that or the Recovered. It
Probably
was
the
after,
Recovered, yeah.
because like Oranges like had some kind of distribution, and then so did the Recovered.
Yeah.
And then after that, I think we did Feeding
That was
Frenzy.
Feeding Frenzy, yeah.
And that was sort of like where we were just self-distributing our own movies. Like,
Yeah.
deal with the
Get your posters made and everything.
Yeah. Press DVDs and just sell them ourselves.
Out of the back of a van, a creepy van.
Trunk.
We sold them out of the back of a website.
Yeah, exactly. A creepy website.
If you want to order this movie, you gotta go to this filthy website.
Yeah, meet me in this alley.
Nasty Angel Fire website.
GeoCities. yeah, GeoCities. Gifts.
What'd you say?
Gifts.
Dripping blood bar.
Buy a horror movie.
Look at this blood bar.
Click on the link over the dripping blood bar. Click on
The website's a part of a web ring. Remember web ring?
Holy cow.
Yeah.
We're so old.
Is anything like an O-ring? And you guys have been doing Half in the Bag, what, since like 2010, 2011?
11, yeah. I think.
Yeah, something like that, 8 years.
Yeah.
How many episodes are you in right now?
170.
It's 140 something, I think.
Is it?
I think so.
Okay, I thought it was 168.
That's a
Somewhere
really
in that
exact
range.
number, yeah.
More than 100, less than 200.
I wanted to say, Jay, we had a joke like 7 years ago, where we had a season 1 of Half in the Bag, and that was like 10 episodes, and then we said, now it's time for season 2.
And it's been ever since?
And it's been ever since. And I wanted to do, like, now, season 2 is just wrapping up. It's like 140 episodes long. Now we're starting season 3.
Yeah, season 1's just a 10-episode DVD, and like, you gotta order like season 2. It's so sad.
I think, yeah, that's right. I think we called it like a season 1 because we were going to take like a couple weeks off, like a month off from making episodes or something.
Yeah.
So we're like, that'll be the break, and then when we come back, it'll be season 2.
Was that where we're making like take time off to make Feeding Frenzy? Was that what was going on, or
No, Feeding Frenzy was before.
That was-
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
Jesus.
Oh my god, that was before Mr. Plinkett's Star Wars review.
Well, it was shot before it, but then we
Shot
finished
before.
it after.
Yeah.
Afterwards.
That was
Yeah,
when
I remember coming up to film Feeding Frenzy and talking with you about
Yeah.
the Phantom Menace review.
Well, there was the Star Trek reviews before that.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any lost episodes? Like something that you filmed and just never aired? For one reason or another?
There's a
Half in
best
the
of the
Bag.
worst episode, right?
Yeah, there was a best of the worst shoot that it was just like miserable, and we got nothing from it, so we canned it.
Was it just because you were just generally miserable, or was it the material
movies
you
were so
watched?
bad.
There was both. There was nothing. There was nothing to work with. And now people are going to clamor to see this episode, even though we didn't put it out there because it was the worst thing.
It's locked up in that Disney vault.
So it was the worst of the best of the worst.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's funny too when people say like, "I'd love to see just all the raw screening room footage." It's like, no, have it's us sitting there just watching the movie.
Yeah, just 8 hours of that. You know,
This is why editing exists.
Like, 'cause we have a marathon today, because I did it last time, and I just remember it's like,
It's like ever since I got here, you guys were just like, okay, be ready.
Yeah.
Be ready for Wednesday.
We prepare people.
Yes.
It's going to be a long day. Mm-hmm. You'll probably be miserable.
You got to pace yourself. Got to pace
Never
yourself.
want to come back.
It works though, because after 6 hours of movies,
you're loony.
You're a little slap happy when it comes
gets
to
to the discussion. Yeah.
So it's like, you don't want to do it the next day, fresh.
I think the first few episodes we did do it. We watched the movies and we filmed the discussion the next day.
We did.
I think so. Early on. One or two.
Oh, is that why they were so terrible?
Exactly.
Yeah. No. Yes. That's a fact.
Well, I think the first episode is only like 20-some minutes long. Like it's less than half an hour, which blows my mind.
Because now
they do that.
Yeah, because now they're upwards of like an hour 20 sometimes.
Yeah, we try to keep
about an hour.
Around an hour.
Yeah.
We trim it down as much as we can, but it always just you trim the discussion down to like, I don't know, 45, 50 minutes, and then you start dropping in clips, and it just keeps growing. It's a nightmare. Every episode is a nightmare to edit.
Yeah, because you have the 8 hours of just raw footage of just recording of people. And you got to find like the funniest 15 minutes out of 8 hours.
Yeah.
Like,
You watch the screening room footage, or at least you used to, and then kind of like...
Oh, I used to go through it and make little markers of like when something, but I don't do that anymore. That's just too daunting.
Do you just take like mental notes now, or
I mean, you kind of remember most of the discussions.
Remember some of the really funny
most of the
parts,
screening footage. Yeah.
Remember when everyone laughed, kind of thing. Like,
I mean, that's easy to find when you scrub through the timeline.
Yeah.
Like, oh, here's a moment where
you can just look at the volume, like
Exactly. You see the wave file, and you can tell where Rich's laugh is. Something funny happened here.
That's when it's in the red. You mentioned the Plinkett reviews earlier, and I found out yesterday that Rich Evans, you were the original Plinkett, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It was the Olsen twins.
It was a college project of yours, right?
Yes.
So that was a long time ago.
So
yes,
long.
it was a very long time ago.
It was like a final video for like a filmmaking class of some kind, and it was all these like artistic, like this lady on the beach walking, and I just turned into this garbage.
What was
so much fun.
What was the original concept? I know we were digging around with like children's films because we thought they were hysterical.
Yeah, it was just to integrate you with multiple kids movies, and we got a couple, like the kid with the magic guitar.
Yeah.
And
that was Little Ghost.
You remember the name of the movie?
I remember the name of the movie. It was Little Ghost.
And so there's one part where Rich is like kind of singing along, and then he makes the guitar fly and hit you right in the crotch.
The ghost makes like the guitar fly like the other side of the room, but we edited so like the guitar flies into my face.
Yes. It just keeps hitting you. But the majority of the stuff that was the funniest was Mr. Plinkett.
Well, because
reacting with the Olsen twins.
There's an Olsen twins movie, and they're on the phones, like the Olsen twins
They're
detective
detectives,
agency,
yeah.
and they're on the phone talking to somebody called Mr. Plinkett.
No, it was Plinkus.
Yeah, I know it was Plinkus, but we thought it was Plinkett, and that's why Mr. Plinkett is Mr. Plinkett. And then we just filmed the other end. We took out Mr. Plinkus, then we replaced it with me, and I was trying to be as bizarre as possible, and that's how it happened.
You're crank calling the Olsen twins in their movie.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah.
You were asking them for help. They had a detective agency.
I can't find my pills.
Right. And then you trash your own kitchen for no reason.
Something's wrong with the cabinet?
Oh, yeah.
You're like saying the cabinet's faulty or something?
Well, I think when I was just wheeling around with the wheelchair, I think just like the door, I broke the cabinet. The door started coming off. It's like, I'll just run with it. My cabinet's broke.
Was it scripted or were you just riffing?
Probably just riffing.
Yeah. Some of the back and forth was like, okay, you should respond to this.
We had some like lines, I'm sure, yeah.
But that was just sort of the funny voice we did, like just making fun of stuff. Sort of evolved.
And then did it kind of keep going from there, or like was there something in between that and like the Star Trek reviews?
I think we made the cleaning lady.
Oh, the cleaning lady. Yeah.
What's the cleaning lady?
Oh God.
Mr. Plinkett hires somebody to clean his house.
He hired
also played by you.
Also played by me. It was just another short we did. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he was supposed to hire a cleaning lady, and you were just like a person that wandered out of an insane asylum. And then you just go in his basement and just start knocking things over. Oh, and then is that? Oh no, that's the Olsen twins one. When you go down the stairs in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
Okay, I just remember that.
And that was filmed, or was that just like audio?
That was real.
Oh yeah.
He fell out of the wheelchair. That's why Rich has a bad back.
That's why. Yeah, because you like doing pratfalls.
I can't.
You like the physical comedy.
I can't do that anymore. Oh God, and I've ruined my body. I ruined myself filming our stupid high school shorts. It was such a waste.
You're like an ex-NFL player without any money.
It's funny because it's true.
Yeah, sort of GoFundMe for a new hip. You know, yeah. Flex goal.
I really could use a new pack.
There it is.
There it is. So yeah, we're doing best of the worst. Okay, I know we're doing Roar.
Roar.
Yeah, Roar. Which I'm looking forward to. We don't have to do. What are the other ones we're watching again?
We're watching Hawk Jones, which is like an action movie starring nothing but children playing the adult roles.
I can't wait.
Playing cops and burglars, and I guess lots of children shooting at each other.
I can't wait.
I think it's shot on video. And then Winter Beasts, which is about a monster totem pole, I think.
And that's been on like the wheel or the. I know I've heard of it. Like it's been on the wheel or the Plinketto board.
That one's kind of been like on the cusp of being watched many times.
And we're just finally going to tear off that Band-Aid.
We're just going to do it.
Just do it.
Yeah. Well, we always do that. We'll have like Roar is another one where we're like, we need to do something special with this. We need to set this aside, and then we just never do. So we're like, we need to just watch it.
Yeah, just get it.
Otherwise, we're just going to keep putting it on. Just watch it.
Are you tired of diets and exercise programs that don't work?
Yes!
Do you find that no matter what you do, you just never find the time?
Yes!
Wouldn't you love to look in the mirror and not hate what you see?
Yes!
Have you tried not giving a fuck?
Shut up!
With not giving a fuck, there are no diets to follow, no special exercises.
Booyah!
I mean, yes, if you're eating pizza at a desk for 12 hours a day, you should maybe consider some small lifestyle changes so you don't die.
What?
But if this is just about how you look, not giving a fuck is so easy.
How, baby?
It requires you to do literally nothing. I'm doing it right now.
Hooray!
Try not giving a fuck today, because no matter what society tells you about how you should feel about how you look, nobody who matters gives a fuck.
And speaking of the wheel and all that stuff, Rich, you actually build a lot of those devices. Like
Yes.
the wheel is like a big old Lazy Susan, essentially.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Lazy Susan mounted to a table I found at the thrift store.
Nice.
Yeah.
You like working with wood?
You know what? I would have loved to have been a carpenter.
Yeah.
If I weren't being made fun of by my friends on camera, I'd have become a carpenter. I made a poor choice.
That's your calling.
I did. I missed my calling. I've always enjoyed building the things that we have.
Yeah, I mean, some of it impressive. That Plinketto board is actually it's quite massive.
Yeah.
How long did it take you?
Oh God. Well, I had to remake it once.
The first one was too heavy, right?
Well, okay. Mike wanted a Plinketto board, what is it called? Plinko.
A Plinko,
From
yeah.
The Price is Right. And you went out and bought 4x4 boards from Home Depot. And I use this as the base. You bought something, and they were comically heavy. And so basically, the structural supports behind the Plinketto board.
So you didn't like Mike's wood?
No, I hated Mike's wood.
Mike's wood was too hard.
Was it too heavy, too hard?
That was
too thick.
way too heavy.
You couldn't handle all of it.
I couldn't handle the weight of Mike's wood.
Okay.
So you switch over to your own wood?
I had to build a giant framework just to contain the weight of Mike's wood.
All right.
And it just fell right over.
So you switch over to your own wood?
I had to go get my wood, which is considerably,
lighter,
smaller and lighter.
Not as thick. Much thinner.
This is why the sides on the Plinketto board, that's just foam. It's just styrofoam on both sides.
Well, you had some issues too with dropping your balls.
Yeah, that's right.
They didn't quite
the
bounce
balls
around
wouldn't
properly.
bounce around.
Yeah. All the little pricks all over it. You drop your balls all over it. It didn't quite work.
People who don't know us and don't know what the fuck the Plinketto board is are horribly confused right now.
So the balls would drop unevenly. They were uneven balls?
At first you had a disc. And then there's a trial and error, basically.
Yeah, because it was based more on the actual, Plinko board.
Yeah, it was gonna be like a hockey puck. I actually got a hockey puck, and you'd drop it down, and it would just like hit one peg and stop.
I think you actually, I think early on it was a hockey. I think you actually kept that in when it just stopped.
Is it a puck in the first episode?
I think so.
I think so.
I think it didn't we have like a light, like you press the button and it lit up, and it was kind of a disc shape.
Yeah.
I think we dropped that the first episode.
We tried a handful of different things, and
nothing
would quite work.
But except for Rich's ball.
Rich's balls eventually worked.
Hit every prick on the way down.
You're talking about the blue balls, right?
The blue balls.
They're blue.
Yeah.
Sex joke.
This is the incredibly low-hanging fruit.
Yeah, but
Speaking of my balls, this is the incredibly low-hanging fruit.
Let's talk more about your balls and your wood.
So, I guess half in the bag is one of those things where you just pretty much were just going to review things that were currently out, as opposed to,
I think the original goal was to get them out quicker than the Plinkett reviews, right?
Yeah,
because those seem really time-consuming.
And it was more the idea of just doing like current release movies. And,
being more topical.
Yes, yeah.
Because we had lots of we're getting more subscribers, and when's your next video? When's your next video? And this, well, we should come up with a thing to do quicker. And then we came up with this premise, and we called it Half in the Bag, kind of thinking maybe we'll do other things on the show. Like we could expand them. It wouldn't just be movies.
It would just be you could just expand the format.
Yes, to whatever we want, because we don't want to call it Movie Time, Mike and Jay or something where we were pigeonholed into reviewing movies. But we never ever did that.
Well, that's why you just create more shows. That's what we've done.
Yeah,
Talk about different things.
Just spin it off. Movie related.
They're all movie related, but yeah. Do you remember the first episode we shot it once before we even had a premise? We had the Plinkett house set, but we weren't like VCR repairmen. We were just in Plinkett's house for no reason.
It was just a backdrop.
You had the set.
For people who don't know what Half in the Bag is, what is the premise? What is the show?
Oh, do we gotta
wait, you don't know?
I don't know. What is it?
Explain it to Rich Evans.
I just have to assume a lot of people listening to this don't know who the fuck we are.
The Mr. Plinkett character was a thing, so it was I think originally we wanted to have Rich in the background as Plinkett, just kind of in shadow.
And you were going to do the voice,
And I was going to do the voice, and it was just going to be a thing that's in the background. It's somewhat related to the Star Wars, Star Trek reviews. And we were just Mike and Jay talking about movies. And then the idea came about at some point to have a storyline, and we're just fuck it, let's have Rich Evans.
Yeah, we can't do storylines and skits and stuff if we have Plinkett in shadow in the
all
corner
the time.
So light it, and it would just take forever.
Yeah.
Was that the first episode when he kind of walks in with the walker and falls down?
I think he comes in the house in a wheelchair, and he falls. He tries to get into his climber, and he keeps
Is that
falling
the first
over.
episode?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was Sucker Punch or something like that?
No, the first one was two movies that everybody's forgotten about. Adjustment Bureau and
oh gosh,
Drive Angry? Nicolas Cage.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
Wow, a couple of gems there.
Well, it's the show's kind of changed over time. Where now it's what are bigger movies that we have things to say about? We're not just going to do a movie because it's new.
Yeah, you have things to say about Aquaman even before it comes out, kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, there's the big obviously the Avengers Endgame or something things that a lot of people are discussing, not just whatever random movie comes out that week, which is kind of what it was in the earlier days.
And you guys just sit around and you just talk shit about it. Yeah. How much footage do you shoot per episode? How much of it do you cut? That kind of thing. Do you talk for an hour and a half and then just use 45 minutes?
The first episode was 12 minutes.
The first episode, it's
it was really short.
Two movies discussed over the course of less than 15 minutes, I think, which is insane to think about now.
But we'll chat for an hour plus. An hour, sometimes an hour and a half, and then most of that will get cut out. So we'll go on tangents, and sometimes we'll make something of those tangents in separate little videos and whatnot. But
Yeah, that's how I learned about your love of ghosts.
Yes.
Yes. It was like a 10, 15-minute just tangent about Ghost Malone.
Ghost Malone. I love ghosts.
He opened the what box?
The Dybbuk box.
The Dybbuk box.
It's in the Zach Bagans Haunted Museum. It's one of the most famous haunted artifacts.
Yeah, and you open the box, bad things happen?
Well, yes, people die.
Oh, except for Toast Malone.
Toast Malone. Post Malone.
Gotcha.
It's funny that for back to paranormal stuff. I think we talked about the Zach Bagans Haunted Museum live, where they did a live event and it was like a disaster.
Where they brought in, did they bring in a rabbi or something?
They brought in a rabbi.
And he's like, this whole show is bullshit.
Because the Dybbuk box was owned by like a woman who survived the Holocaust, and she kept her like personal items in there, and then she died. There's a story behind it.
Mm-hmm.
And then the guy,
a Jewish story, obviously. He's gonna bring in a rabbi.
Somehow it became haunted. Somebody owned it. I don't know. And
Somehow it became haunted. That's a wonderful sentence.
Yada yada yada. It got haunted.
There's a history behind the Dybbuk box. I don't know it all.
I had the sandwich. Somehow it became haunted.
It's just haunted now.
There's a story. I don't know it offhand.
Well, they made a movie about the Dybbuk box
Yes.
called like The Possessed or The Possession or something.
The guy buried it in his backyard for like 10 years because everyone who kept touching it would die.
Yeah.
Same thing happened with Ed Gein's cauldron, by the way.
What happened?
Well, they had to move it out of Ed Gein's like barn, and like there were like 6 men that had to move it, and every one of them died within like 6 months of moving it, and they're all varying ages or something
I was
crazy.
gonna say, how old were they? They all had tuberculosis already.
So similar with the Dybbuk box, if you open it up, bad things happen. And then on his show, they were like, that was the big like end event of the Haunted Live. Was like, and he's like, I'm gonna open it. Nope. Nope. And then he couldn't muster the courage.
People figured me out.
Somehow, him and Post Malone were playing in their museum. And there's like a security footage at Post Malone's like dancing, and they open up the Dybbuk box. and they're like laughing.
In a drunken party.
I'm like, this wasn't part of the show. He's like, Post Malone wanted to come over and run around my haunted museum.
How can you say no?
And then after Post Malone opened the Dybbuk box, he was almost killed like 3 different times, unrelatedly. His plane crashed. The wheels fell off his plane. He got in a car accident and miraculously survived, all within like weeks of opening up the Dybbuk box. There is proof.
Rich Evans, there's your freaking proof.
Prove that, Mr. Coincidence.
Mr. Haunted Sandwich.
That's not proof though. That's just things that happen.
I don't really think it's proof. I find
but would you open the Dybbuk box though?
I don't know that I believe you when you say that, Mike. Would you open the Dybbuk box?
Yeah, would you open it? Come on, would you? Answer the question, Claire.
Because we got it right here.
Oh my God! It's Zach Bagans, and it's got the Dybbuk box.
It's Post Malone's here too.
To err on the side of caution, I would not.
Oh, okay.
Just the 1% chance.
I would
walk
open
outside.
the fuck out of the box.
I drop a deuce in it.
Rich, would you put your balls in the Dybbuk box?
I would dip my balls in the Dybbuk box.
Is that your challenge to Zach Bagans?
Yeah. Zach Bagans, let me into your haunted museum. I'll dip my balls in the
Dybbuk box.
It's highly offensive.
All right, I'm going to start booking the trip right now.
Yeah.
Let's get out there.
Well, you just add them, bro.
Do you believe in ghosts?
No.
No? Okay.
No. No, it's a pretty easy answer. It's like, yeah, I'm with you on this. It's
Okay.
kinda just like, yeah. I mean, if they'd been around this whole time, I think we probably would have figured it out. We've been around for as long as ghosts have, technically. And so if we've been coexisting, I think we would actually like have something a little more tangible than, oh my God, it's cold in the corner. Did you guys feel that?
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
Like, did you hear that creak while the house settled? Like, oh no, it must be my grandmoo. You know, yeah. I'm like, nah, fuck that. Jay, what about you?
No.
No. Yeah. So you pretty much just indulge, Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Most of the shows seem like they're entertaining.
It's one of those things where it's like, I can't prove they don't exist, I guess.
Ghost stories to me are fascinating, and haunted locations are interesting too because there's so many of them, and they seem to be more or less random. Because you think like, oh gosh, that house looks like it's haunted, but there's no stories from it. But this place, there's just tons of stories from it, specifically. So it's like, has everyone been making up stories about this one place while no one has decided to make up a story about that place? So there's a pattern. There are patterns. And there are haunted locations everywhere all over the world that go back for a long period of time. So I find all that interesting.
Mike, I believe you when you say you're skeptical, but I do think you desperately want to believe.
Yeah, you kind of have a Mulder-esque kind of quality coming from you.
Sure. I've gone to lots of haunted locations and have experienced very little to nothing.
I was gonna say, you do the ghost tours and things,
yeah.
like when you're like out of town.
Yes, and one of the more interesting ones was the Queen Mary, the big ship in Long Beach, because you go down to the belly of the ship where all the steam engines are been pulled out, and it's this huge cavernous, like rusty guts of the ship, and there's all these stories like that ship rammed like a World War II like vessel and killed like 10 sailors or something, and so people hear like sounds of like people screaming and water and stuff. There's all sorts of ghost stories. But then, nothing happened.
It sounds like some ghost tours are like just like regular tours, but like they're like a lot of people just go to the Queen Mary because they want to see the big old boat. But when you add ghosts to it, then you get a whole different audience.
There's a profitability to it.
Yeah, like New Orleans is full of those. Sure, because it's such an old kind of city. I went on a terrible one where I forget the name of the tour guide, but he dressed like a pirate, but he was just wasted off of his ass. And like we met him outside of a real estate office at like 8 p.m. He was like, oh yeah, just give me a second. And he comes back like with his pirate outfit.
Was it his real estate office? That's his day
I'm
job?
pretty sure he worked there.
I
think he totally forgot that he had like a whole tour like coming up because he was I called him Whiskey Pete and Whiskey Pete like took us to a couple of locations. I can't tell you how many times he said the words yellow fever over and over and over again. And he took us literally to a parking lot at one point. He's like, this is where a hospital used to be. And he sat there for about 8 minutes talking about what used to be there. And it's like, if you stand still long enough, you might hear the ghosts. And it's just like, it's a parking lot. It's like honk honk, get out of the way. It's like New Orleans is full of those kind of things.
Sure.
Yeah. But yeah, you like doing the little ghost tours?
They're fun. Because like the Queen Mary's pretty famous. And
it seems like it's already pretty. Yeah,
it's a cool ship. But there's a pool area that's not in use where I guess a little girl drowned at some point. And I've seen numerous shows where they capture like echoing little girl voice talking. And so it's like, okay, cool. They're down there, don't hear shit.
Yeah. You want to hear a little girl drowning? I'm here to listen to little girls drown.
And even if I did hear it myself, I'd be like, did that get piped in through a speaker? I'd be very skeptical.
Or is it just some random sound? Something shifting in the...
You never know.
Yeah.
And so, I want to have that experience somewhere where it's like, oh, that was neat. I felt something touch my ear or, something touched me, tapped my arm. And it's unexplainable. But whenever you go on one of these tours, there's always like a crackpot who's lying. On the Queen Mary tour, there's this lady, and she's like, you could tell like she was just making everything up. She's like, last night in my room, I saw a man standing in the corner, and he was wearing like an old-timey bellboy uniform. And he walked through the wall. And we're like, no.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah.
You're lying. You want to be highlighted. You want to be special.
You want to be the special person.
Ghost talk to you.
You're attuned.
You're attuned. You're special.
Yeah, you're Haley Joel Osment.
So, I don't know. I'm the one here trying to prove ghosts. And I have no...
That's why I led with it. It's like, so you believe in ghosts?
Because, I find it all interesting. That's all. That's all I'm going to say.
It's in the same category as like alien conspiracies for me, where it's fun to just like listen to these stories and documentaries. I do air quotes, and just suspend your disbelief for a little while.
Yeah, what is your thoughts on aliens then?
Yeah, how do you feel about aliens, Rich?
Based.
I don't think they have visited us, but I do think it's highly likely there is alien life elsewhere.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that.
That's just pure math.
Yeah. But it's like what do they call it? Mass not mass hysteria, mass
groupthink.
No. Mass hallucination, or where it's like so ingrained in our culture.
I think
because it's coincidence. It's been going on for a long time that these specific aliens, the Greys, the big almond dark eyes, have a very specific look to them. Why does that keep popping up?
because somebody says it and they've heard it before, and that becomes what you associate.
And that's what is ingrained.
That's in your head. That's what an alien's supposed to look like. And so then when you have your hallucination,
the odds are
that's what you envision.
The odds are they probably wouldn't have four limbs and walk upright and have we think humanoid.
Look that humanoid.
Yeah, exactly. They could look like jellyfish or whatever, like that. I think once that kind of got ingrained in our culture, that's what you dream that you got abducted by, and And it hasn't been all through history. I mean, it's only been since television and radio. Really?
Well, unless you watch Ancient Aliens. There's cave drawings of,
Yeah, I mean, I watch some of that kind of I don't really do the ghost stuff, but I do the alien stuff in the same way that I look at the flat Earth stuff. I love watching those videos, Hollow Earth, Flat Earth. Do you guys get into these kind of things at all?
A little bit, and that's more just you have to completely ignore reality to believe these things.
I know, and that's that's what I mean. If I'm going to do crackpots, I want real crackpots.
Yeah. Well, flat Earth, that has its roots in actually religion. That's like a people want to get back to the ancient biblical view of the Earth. It's one of those biblical literalist things.
Like dinosaurs aren't real kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I love that where it's dinosaur fossils are just put there to test our faith.
Right.
The God did that to fuck with us essentially. It was why? What kind of God do you have?
I think now they're trying to say that the dinosaurs died in the flood.
Oh, Noah's Ark.
Noah's Ark didn't have the dinosaurs.
Oh.
Because they were too big for the boat. Put all these goddamn dinosaurs.
Gonna need a bigger boat.
Yeah.
If you try to carbon date something, then God changes the numbers. I'm testing you.
Just
6.5 billion years ago. No.
What was that one weird conspiracy video we watched about the person who thought the sky was fake?
The sky is
It's like a big painting or something.
The moon's a hologram. There's that one.
They were trying to explain it because of the rainbow that you see in their lawn sprinkler.
Yeah.
What was that?
Well, he was zooming in on the moon, and then he zoomed in on a stop sign. And because he could zoom in closer to the stop sign, that meant the moon was closer, projected in the sky. It was he didn't understand camera optics.
Perspective.
Yeah. And I was like, yeah, the moon. Yeah, you could put your thumb over the moon, like Apollo 13.
Yeah.
But that does not mean your thumb is bigger than the moon. It's like, no. You don't understand.
You don't understand.
No, I know. I love like this is probably my favorite part of YouTube is like these crackpots and crazy people kind of just put up whatever they want. You know, yeah.
My favorite is this video, a YouTube video, a woman on her lawn pointing a camera at her lawn sprinkler. And she's pointing at like the rainbow effect you get.
Yeah.
And so, what are they putting in our water?
Turns the frog. Hey.
I think I combined both those conspiracy videos
Yes,
into one
you
in my
did.
brain there. 'Cause, yeah, the sprinkler thing was a different one. Yeah.
She failed basic high school physics.
Yeah.
Prism effect.
Yeah, never heard of refraction.
I have this theory that like the reason there are so many conspiracies, I think it's oddly comforting for people.
Oh, totally. Like, yeah, like it validates their own kind of worldview. And again, like it's like that thing with the ghosts, where it's like they're special. I'm the one who's figured out that the world is flat, and
Like,
Antarctica just wraps around us.
But if you look at like the face value of all these like conspiracy theories, like government is controlling you, and there's aliens out there, and I don't know what they're gonna do. I think that's more comforting that there are these forces in control of things is more comforting than we're just on this rock and there's no one on the controls and just this empty, horrible universe.
Yeah, there's always kind of like a supreme bad guy or like someone's trying to trick you.
Someone evil being in charge of something is better than nothing.
Than us being out of control of our own destinies.
Yeah,
like,
I find
completely.
that more comforting.
Yeah,
knowing that there's nothing out there and we have free will.
We're all just floating around, bumping into each other and stuff.
Do whatever.
There's just boobs in charge of the government. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. And anything can happen.
It's like, I just love how like the moon's been a hologram since forever, and that equals profit.
Yeah.
Like why?
Yeah, that's my favorite conspiracies are where it's like, yeah, but why?
Yeah.
Like this is your theory.
Yeah, no, it's
Why?
because NASA makes billions of dollars or something like that. It's like, no, they don't. They keep on cutting their budget all the time. Look at it. Yeah.
Scientists want you to believe the world is round because
fuck you, that's why. Because they want to mess with you.
You see, once you believe the world's round, then they can
sell you balls.
They can do lectures about how the world is round. They can't do that if the world is flat.
See?
Like that's the one about flat Earth that gets me. Why cover this up?
Yeah. Why?
There's no reason why.
Yeah.
Someone's making a profit.
Yeah.
Someone's making money off of it. That's why. Someone somewhere.
Indisputable proof as well that the Earth is round.
All that proof is fake. It's all staged.
No, yeah. And imagine actually that was actually true. Like that one guy who reveals it and actually has hard evidence of it. Like that person would make lots of money and be super duper famous and stuff. Yeah. Like yeah. Just you think that like there's a lot of people who work for NASA and a lot of like independent contractors and all that kind of like. You think one of them you think all of them just keep this secret? And there's not one jerk off who gets drunk and mouths off at a bar or something like that. I mean, come on, a vindictive ex-wife or something. Like, come on,
I don't think people realize that you make your name in science by changing the view,
the way you see science. Yes.
So Einstein isn't famous because he towed the line.
Yeah.
Einstein is famous because he had this crazy fucking idea about space is curved and relativity.
Yeah.
And it was something radical and different, and that's why he's a big name. It's not because he said, yeah, no, Newton's right, and that's the only thing that can be right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But see, I think some of these crackpots think that they're being Albert Einstein. They're like, I'm the one who discovered that the world is flat. Because check this out. Look at the horizon. I don't see a curve. Fuck you. I'm the best. I'm Albert freaking Einstein. Yeah. My favorite is I found this great channel recently. I can't remember the name of it right now, but it's all dedicated to Bigfoot. And this guy is hardcore believer, and I mean he has like 100 videos.
See, I'm okay
Some
with the
of them are half an hour. But this guy,
it's so harmless.
I'm okay with the Bigfoot people.
I'm okay with them.
Yeah, no. Honestly, I think they're harmless too. But it's also this guy just has like hundreds of them, and anywhere from 2 minutes, like half an hour long, and just and just kind of just this.
it's borderline pseudoscience. Like he's kind of using like some just biology and that paleontology kind of things, that kind of stuff. But at the same time, you could tell like he does not have a doctorate at all. He's just a guy who read a couple books. And he knows how to Wikipedia things, and he just puts it all together. And I find it enthralling. Like I'll just binge watch on a weekend or something like that. My girlfriend will walk into the room. She's Bigfoot again. I'm like, yeah. No, it's not Bigfoot again.
Guy.
It's not Bigfoot again. It's Bigfoot still.
Oh God, I wish I could remember the guy's name, but like 10, 15 years ago, tell me if you remember this.
Okay.
There are these people that claim that they had a Bigfoot corpse.
Oh, yeah.
And they had
It's just you in a monkey suit.
They had it in like they had it in a cooler. Wait for it. They had it in a cooler full of like ice or something, and they had like some pictures that they were posting.
It was like they had a press release.
And one of the big famous Bigfoot researchers spent like hundreds of thousands of dollars to buy this Bigfoot corpse off of these people
that he never actually saw.
No, they sent it to him, and it was a fucking Halloween costume. It was a goddamn girly. It was an actual girly costume.
Were they doing it for like a goof, or did they seriously want people to believe? Like,
I think they were just fucking with the Bigfoot.
That's what I'm wondering. Were they just trying to
yeah.
fuck with people that would actually believe that, or were they trying to just con people?
I think that depends upon whether or not they gave the money back.
Okay.
Well, then you got that famous the Roswell autopsy footage. Way back when.
Yeah.
Someone painstakingly went and shot it on film and made this rubber costume.
Yeah, which actually looks pretty good for the time. Like it was like that was like in the 90s or like early 90s.
Alien autopsy.
Yeah. And they got like a Fox special out of it, didn't they?
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah,
They got a bunch of specials. Got a bunch of specials all over the world about that. They made bank off of that.
It's conspiracy upon conspiracy because someone made a fake thing so that you could make conspiracy shows about it to make money about it.
Well, do you think Fox gave a fuck whether or not it was real? Fox gave a fuck whether or not it was. There was enough there where they could claim they thought it could be real.
So many shows were made about that footage, and then someone like looked at the actual film print and they're like, "Yeah, this was manufactured 6 weeks ago." This film footage.
Well, actually, I think they caught it. I think it was like a watch somebody was wearing.
Oh, really?
That wasn't manufactured yet.
Okay.
That's how they get you.
Yeah.
It was something. It wasn't the film.
It wasn't the film. It was something in the footage that.
Okay.
But I mean, we're still like talking about that special like 30 years later. So obviously they did something right. Look at that. It's
well, they've basically been proven as frauds now.
Oh no, totally. Yeah, I'm just saying. It's like
the guy who made it is saying, "Oh no, the film was too degraded." But there's one frame in there that's from the real original footage. I had to recreate it.
Did that happen? I didn't hear about that.
No, he's the person. At least one of the people who made that is claiming, "Well, I had to reshoot actual footage because it was in such bad shape." But there's a little bit. There's 1 second of real footage in there somewhere.
Find it.
And I'm only bringing that up now that I've been proven to be a fraud.
Now that I've been caught, I'm only bringing that up now.
He's got some bills to pay.
Because also, I remember Fox had that special about the faking the moon landing one. Like that was actually kind of like that was. I remember that actually kicked off like kind of the modern day, like because there was always kind of like funny speculation, like people talking about it's like I bet you Stanley Kubrick did it, like but like I remember that one for the 90s. Like you can actually dig like the modern. That's another one of those like YouTube like rabbit holes. Like I'll fall into is the moon landing stuff, which is pretty great. Yeah. So do you believe we've been to the moon?
Yes.
I do. Yes.
No.
Really?
I believe the Stanley Kubrick theory.
Yeah, of course.
How can you refute it?
How can you?
A flag can't just float around on the moon like it's like it would on the wind on Earth.
Yeah, they wouldn't have thought of that. These NASA scientists. What are they?
Who is that? Who is the astronaut who said he saw aliens? Is that Buzz Aldrin?
I don't know.
No, that was. But it was one of the more obscure kind of like ones. I mean, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, really, how many astronauts can you name?
Oh boy, I want to say it was one of the
Buzz Aldrin,
Apollo.
Neil Armstrong. Oh God.
Yeah. See.
That's it.
Yuri Gagarin.
Yuri Gagarin.
Who's that guy that spent a lot of time in space?
The third Apollo 11
like Larson
astronaut.
or something like that.
He was the loneliest guy in the universe.
Stay in the capsule.
Yeah, he had to rotate. He wasn't. He went to the moon, but wasn't able to get he had to pick them up.
Right.
So at one point, he was as far away from people as he possibly could be, because he was on the other side of the moon from where like his two buddies were, and the Earth was way over there. So he was technically as isolated a person as possible at that point. The loneliest man ever. I think it was Larson, something like that.
Michael something.
Yeah, actually, yeah, it was a pretty straightforward. Yeah, I remember actually had more of a straightforward name. It was like Smith or Scott or something.
I could think of some others.
But see, obviously we can't even think of
I'm
it.
in trouble though.
Well, let's not forget Tom Hanks.
I was just gonna do that. Tom Hanks, Paxton.
Lowell? That was one of them, right? Lowell?
Lovell.
Lovell, thank you.
Yeah, that's who Tom Hanks played. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mae Jemison.
And there was a guy who just spent like a year at the International Space Station, and his bones got all brittle. Look at all that stuff. Yeah.
Christine, the teacher.
Oh,
the
challenger.
McAfee. Yes.
Yeah, Christine McAfee. She's the teacher that went up. She was an official astronaut.
Right.
But, that counts, though. I mean, she dressed like an astronaut.
Should we have ended when we were talking about the Showbiz Pizza Bear?
Oh, that's pretty sad, too. Oh, God. Wah, wah.
That's a Jeffrey Dahmer joke, too.
Is it?
Yeah. What kind of shampoo does Jeffrey Dahmer use? Pert.
You fucking dork. I think that's how we're gonna end it.
I know, I had this like an old time shampoo from like the 80s.
Pert Plus.
Yeah. That's why I probably would have used way back. I don't think they even make it anymore.
All right, plug your stuff. Give me your Twitters and your Instas and all that kind of fun stuff.
What's a Twitter?
What's an Insta?
Yeah, the tweety things in the picture-y
you
one.
know all this information.
Just go to YouTube and look up Red Letter Media, and then you can find lots of people stealing our content.
Yeah, you'll see tons of videos that are biased, but are posted by us.
Yeah.
Click on those.
They need the ad revenue.
Yes.
Anything else like like I said, any socials, anything like that? Rich Evans, you probably have some private ones. Would you mind sharing them with the world?
I stay far away from social media. I'm a fucking hermit.
Yeah, no, you know what it is? You have one of those like asking for it faces. Yeah.
Asking for it faces?
Yeah, just asking for trouble. Ask it.
You should start a Twitter, Rich, and just tweet
God, no.
the worst things ever.
Twitter's the dumbest thing.
Yeah, we're not going to
fuck
talk
is
about
that?
That
normal?
We're wrapping
It's
up.
an awful place.
Yeah, we have
Nothing
more to watch,
always sitting over there.
We got some movies to watch. You got a job to do. That's all you want to really plug. Yeah.
I would just say thanks for having us on.
Oh no, thanks for doing this. Yeah. I enjoy Milwaukee. No, it's freaking still cold. It's May.
Fucking liar.
It's fucking cold. No, I enjoy my time here. But yeah, like I said, it's May and it's freaking 40 degrees. I don't know what.
Yes, freezing rain. I'm glad we shot that yesterday.
Yes.
Yeah. The one day it wasn't supposed to rain.
Yeah. We shot some stuff which you'll probably see. Well, yeah, it'll probably be out before this. So yeah, we pointed all over Milwaukee. And yeah, so I got to see your fantastic town.
We shot it a little bit before our 1 week of summer that we get here.
Yeah. It was good. It was good stuff. All right, I'm going to do an outro later because it's awkward if you guys are looking at me when I'm doing it. I want to talk about you guys behind your back. Assholes. Guys, thanks a lot for doing this.
Thank you.
Yeah, all right, cool. All right. So that was hilarious. Haha, am I right? So, I think I put all the info at the end of this episode. Sean's standing right next to me. Actually, no, he's sitting right next to me. And, he told me I already did the outros before. So, I don't know why I'm doing this. Okay, enjoy the voicemail. Bye.
Said it's 845 Easy E hoax. It might sound dumb, but it's
Hello, it's me, Mr. Plinkett. And you know what? Today's the 20th anniversary of Star Wars The Phantom Menace. So I'd like to say, now this is podcasting. Seriously though, I called to say that I like your show. I don't love it. I said I like it. Anyway, I have to go now. My cat is scratching at my balls.
Oh shit, Macaulay, I really didn't mean to call you, but hey, while I'm here, if I don't know, like if you've got the time on your podcast, if you just I don't know, just let my girlfriend Allie know that I really love her. That'd be super swell. Anyway, I'm gonna leave you be right now. You're a good guy. P.S. My name's Chris. Ugh. Awkward, but bye. Hi, this is Macaulay Culkin. I just wanted to call to say hi to Macaulay Culkin. So, hey, what's up, bro? What's going on? Just wanted to say hi to myself.
Hey, Bookster. Man, I love your show. You should call my show. It's Hog Story, 430-201-4841. I love you. A lot.
Find me, gag me, take me to the funny ranch.
Oh my god.
I need to get closer.
Didn't you need like 5,000 bones to get what you get for them? I think a bony raptor thingy. There's oh god, I forgot the word. there's a hole somewhere in this mountain, like there's a hermit person sitting in there somewhere. I remember. A cave, oh my god. There's a cave somewhere in this mountain, but I forgot where. And in that cave, well, there's stuff you can trade for these stupid dinosaur bones. I think you could get just like a dead raptor as as a pet, like a bony thingy. I think it did cost 5,000. Back in the day, that took a while to farm, but nowadays it's pretty easy, as you can see.
I'm out of range.
Can't find this stupid cave. I thought it was over there somewhere, but apparently I'm wrong. I remembered wrong.
Great to meet you.
Didn't know that well was a thing.
I'm out of range.
Oh, it's 10,000. Wait, what? It survived. What the hell? Good job, Dino.
Which of these 4 statements are true and which are false?
Oh, awesome. We're gonna play a little game. Let's get into it.
Sin is sin. Lawlessness is lawlessness. All sins lead to death. Only humans judge sins in degrees. Only God can forgive sins.
Okay. Sin is sin, lawlessness is lawlessness. Seems to be true. I mean, if you're breaking the law, then you're definitely breaking the law. I don't subscribe to this whole sin thing. It's Christianity's own book of laws. For millennia, Christianity has been trying to gain enough power to control the people like a government. And they even succeeded in certain periods of time. Vatican City, the home of the Catholic Church, is its own country, even now. The smallest country in the world. It's just over 100 acres, and it's a monarchy with the Pope as its leader. The population, last time it was counted in 2012, was 451. For anybody who's read the book Fahrenheit 451, that's called irony. Anyways, I know the leadership of Jehovah's Witnesses have always dreamed of setting up their own theocracy with the governing body as the head. If they could all just move to an island and enforce their rules as laws, they so would. Can you imagine that? You know, I just want to point something out. I know I'm getting off on a little tangent here, but I feel like it's important. When excommunication gained real prominence in the Middle Ages, cities were made up entirely of Catholics. The hope was that if somebody broke a Catholic rule, everybody in the town would ignore them. They wouldn't be able to buy food from the store. They wouldn't be able to fill up their horse with gas or however the those things operate. They couldn't do anything. The hope was that the person would eventually just wander off into the woods and die. That's the original intent of excommunication, what Jehovah's Witnesses now call disfellowshipping. And Jehovah's Witnesses know this, as they pointed out in their January 8, 1947 Awake. Bear in mind, what I'm about to read was released by the Watchtower Society and is now considered by them to be apostate propaganda.
Wow.
Quote, it's an instrument by which the clergy obtained a combination of ecclesiastical power and secular
I mean, they were
tyranny
never
that finds
really
no parallel in history.
rare.
They continue to say
Still,
it's an unbiblical Roman Catholic
that's
teaching by which
ridiculous.
you're looked upon with the blackest contempt, being cursed and damned with the devil and his angels. That
I mean, the
awesome.
drop rate
I
right
love
now
that
is
they
ridiculous.
actually printed and distributed this at one point. But think about that. That's what Jehovah's Witnesses want. They want the disfellowshipped person to wander off into the woods and die. That's the ideal outcome for them. They don't want to be a part of the religion? Then rip their family away from them. Rip their best friends away. Their entire support network. Get rid of them. They'll either die or they'll come back. Either outcome works. Okay, that was point 1. Point 2. All sins lead to death. That's false. I could kiss a dude right now and it wouldn't kill me. I wouldn't really enjoy it, but it wouldn't kill me. I'd make it out the other side. And by the way, I switched up my Patreon rewards recently. If you donate $50 to me, when I meet you in person, I will kiss you. With tongue, on camera. And we'll put it on social media. But if it's a dude, you have to pretend I'm giving you CPR for the picture. Tongue is still okay. Next point. Only humans judge sins in degrees. I'm not sure what that means. I'm assuming it'll be revealed to us in a few minutes. And only God can forgive sins. Okay. Only God can accept an apology for something you did wrong? That doesn't seem quite right to me, but okay. So in that order, they are true, false, I don't know, and what the f*** is he talking about? Moving on.
Let's take a look at forgivable sins. Sins God will pardon. 2 kinds of sin fall in this category. Sins lesser in seriousness, not so great, and serious sins, great sins. Example of sins lesser in seriousness, not so great.
Okay, hold on. How do lesser sins and greater sins differ? Do you die extra hard in Armageddon if you forgot to ask for forgiveness for a greater sin? Do you personally get killed by an angel instead of just getting hit with a fireball? If you kill the angel before he kills you, does he drop speed buffs? Is it gonna use an area of attack move?
Driving 56 miles per hour in a 55 mile per hour zone. Getting a traffic warning or unintentional parking ticket. Immodest dressing, for example, wearing a dress or skirt too short or with a slit too high
None
up
of these
the
is
thigh,
a sin
or
because
tight
it's just
clothing.
arbitrary
Immodest
rules
hairstyles,
that
for
humans
example,
made up.
dreads, hair tattoo, outrageous hair designs, bald head on a woman, long hair on a man.
Okay, so it looks like breaking secular laws is a sin, wearing clothing that make men want to rip them off of you is a sin, wearing your hair wrong is a sin. I'd like to expand on that bald head on a woman bit there. What if she has cancer? What if she's legit just going bald? Is that her fault? What should she do? Buy a wig? Or is she f***ed no matter what she does? Anyways, that's all very interesting, but he missed one. 1 Timothy 2, 9 through 10. Likewise,
Didn't even
also
know
that women
about
should
the
adorn themselves
women
in
bald
respectful
is a
apparel,
sin.
with modesty and self-control, not with braided hair and gold or pearls. So women can't braid their hair. At the very least, they can't braid it and wear pearls at the same time. Really, it's all about not being unique. You aren't supposed to be an individual. You need to blend in with the crowd, be exactly the same as everybody else. An upstanding citizen so you don't bring reproach on Jehovah's name. Yes, they really say that last thing, constantly.
Reading books or watching TV shows rated G, PG, or PG-13 that portrays a brief form of sins lesser in seriousness for entertainment. Not praying regularly, an uncheerful giver, for example, of their time, energy, and money.
Okay, did you notice that last one? An uncheerful giver of their time, energy, and money. That's where this fake cult persona comes from. They put on this mask of happiness because going in service or cleaning the Kingdom Hall toilets grudgingly is a sin. So they put on a smile and they go through the motions. It's hard. They control every aspect of your life. This is an odd story to tell, but I'm telling it anyways. I remember my mom telling me that when she was in the military, obviously pre-Jehovah's Witnesses, they ordered everybody to only use 2 squares of toilet paper. She pointed out that it was just a way to control people, micromanage every aspect of their lives, and controlling them on the bigger issues becomes a lot easier. So even in private, when they're cleaning off the tables or dusting the windows and nobody else is around, they put that smile on their face because they know Jehovah's watching.
Subconscious or unintentional sinful thoughts, for example, dreams. Thoughtless, unintended words, for example, words or actions that hurt others. Sins committed in ignorance.
Isn't that interesting? You aren't even safe in your dreams. If you do something bad in a dream, you have to worry about how Jehovah felt about it. Something you have zero control over. It keeps you worrying, keeps you thinking, keeps it in the back of your mind, keeps you subservient and apologetic, even for sins committed in ignorance. It makes you search out more. Continue looking for information to make sure you aren't accidentally doing something you aren't supposed to.
Example of serious sins. Great sins are listed in Galatians 5:19 through 21. It reads, "Now the works of the flesh are plainly seen, and they are sexual immorality, uncleanness, brazen conduct, idolatry, spiritism, hostility, strife, jealousy, fits of anger, dissensions, divisions, sects, envy, drunkenness, wild parties, and things like these." Other examples of serious sins include drug abuse.
Whoa, back up. He skipped right over blasphemy against God and Christ. That was an odd one to skip. These are supposed to be examples, not a comprehensive list. Why put it in there if he wasn't going to read it? Whatever. Anyways, just to touch on a couple of these, notice they put spiritism in there. That's because Jehovah's Witnesses legit believe that people have supernatural powers. They believe in the power of witches to call upon demons and use their powers. That is ridiculous. Even though there's no evidence of anybody ever being able to do that kind of thing, they still believe it's possible because it's in the Bible. I know they believe in that stuff because my mom was seriously afraid of it when I was growing up. She believed my dad had harnessed the power of demons at one point in my life and made a point of instilling the same fear in me as a young, impressionable child. Okay, back to the list.
Drug abuse, smoking, lying, stealing, deliberately disobeying the traffic laws, for example, speeding, denying the existence of God, not worshiping God, unjust, unmerciful, unfaithful.
Hold on a second. I thought speeding was a minor sin. Oh, is he saying that speeding is only a minor sin if you do it unintentionally? So they put speeding on par with doing meth. That's good to know.
Celebrating idolatrous holidays, pagan, patriotic, and humanistic. Suicide, improper speech. Gambling, legalized theft. For example, Christendom's gambling casinos, churches. Masturbation, anal sodomy, oral sodomy, also known as oral sex fellatio. Conscious or intentional sinful thoughts, feelings, for example, daydreaming.
I've already talked about holidays and how it's just another way to control people. Separate them from the rest of society and give them something in common, so they grow closer to each other. Then if they leave, completely sever that connection. I'm assuming improper speech would be swearing. Interesting that it's also equally as bad as doing meth. And I'm not sure why he said churches after talking about Christian gambling casinos. What's that mean? Is he saying that people turn churches into casinos? I don't understand. And for the viewers who have asked about the sex life of a Jehovah's Witness, here's your answer. Of course, I left when I was 18, so I never actually performed the mating ritual with a Jehovah's Witness. But I've heard that when you get married, the elders will pull you aside and explain to you what you are and aren't allowed to do with your wife. Basically, you can't do anything except missionary style. Coincidental name? I wonder why they call it that.
Participating in war, not abstaining from blood. Murder including abortion, owning a gun to protect self and family, premeditated murder. Dishonoring those God placed as heads over us, for example, Jesus. God-fearing men and parents. Reading paperback books or watching TV shows rated R, NC-17, and blue movies. Not showering or bathing. Not keeping our surroundings clean, for example, home, yard, car, and office.
Here's that micromanaging thing again. You can only watch certain types of movies. You can't take blood transfusions. You have to shower. You have to keep your house and yard clean. Not doing what
If I
the
go around
elders or
this,
your parents or some other
thing,
adult tell you to do. That's a sin.
around
No
this
surprise
island
they have
10
a
times,
pedophilia problem.
I
Anyways,
could
that's all I've got
get
for you. Follow me on
all
Facebook,
10,
Twitter, and
all
Patreon. Thanks for watching.
10K phone thingies. Yes. Looks like it. Well, it looks like I get approximately 1,000 per clear. Oh yeah, there's I think it was a weekly quest in the Sholazar. Wait, is it called like this in English too? Yeah, Sholazar Basin. That gives you an egg like this too. Yeah, as I said, I think it's a weekly quest. I still need, well, I never did that quest, but I know that out of this egg there can hatch, well, they could hatch one of the proto-drakes. Never really understood why everybody wanted them so bad, because I think proto-drakes are one of the worst looking mounts you can have. Just look horrible. I mean, I kind of like that I had one of them. One of the, well, big dick ones. I had the Rusty Proto-Drake, I think it was called. That was for Ulduar's 10-person, hard mode, basically. 10 people hard mode. And I almost had the 25 version of that. Almost. But not really when it was current. We almost did it when, well, 2 raids later, but yeah, not when it was actually current.
don't have a target.
Wait, what? Survive. Good job. Oh man, I wish they would still mail you all the items you just leave behind. Back in Pandaria, they had, well, it's probably still in the game. It's just switched off, and I think they told us that it had, well, they switched it off because the servers couldn't handle it or something like that. I think people were pretty sure that that's bullshit, and they turned that mailing off because people didn't like it, or a lot of people didn't like that. Well, that system, and what it was basically every single item you got, well, you could loot, like all of these items. If I would just go away and not take them, they would have been sent to my mailbox instantly. Well, not instantly. Maybe instantly, I don't know. I don't remember. But that was a thing for a short while back in Mists of Pandaria. And I loved that. Because there were so many items that well, especially in dungeons, that I just did not loot. There were a lot of items in, like, raids that I didn't loot. It was like, whoa. I just, like, ignored, like, 100 gold in one single raid. And, what? Where did all these drops come from? Yeah, and I remember distinctively that I somehow missed I think it was wait. I think it's in Mist of Pandaria. There's one boss that dropped that dropped oh yeah, that dropped a little raptor mount. I think that's the black one I have. That's also one of those eggs. I think that boss drops an egg, or it drops the raptor itself. And I, for some reason, didn't loot that thing. I just got it in my mailbox. Well, boss drops and stuff. Well, they still get mailed to you. But that was one of the first things I noticed, and I was like, "What? Totally missed that." I don't know how, because I always look at, well, just everybody always looks into well, boss loot drops thingies, whatever. If you kill something, you just run to it and like, gimme, 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 gimme your loot, asshole. And I somehow missed, well, that whole boss. It was weird. Very, very weird. Yeah, whatever, I don't care anymore, I'm done. After this one. I remember that I used to have like 2,000 or something like that on my main account. I think I threw them away at some point. And those 2,000 I had, they were actually legit farmed. Like back when all this bullshit was current. It was like, yeah, what? They kept them for a long time.
Can I help you? Off and away. Greetings. You have a great day now.
farming these is also a really bad joke. Like a really, really, really bad joke. You need 20 of these to get, well, one of the, well, one of those serpents. I don't remember which one was supposed to be more elusive. Either this one, well, it's probably this one because, yeah, the drop rate is shit. The other one, the other special one was the one you get from these. Basically, there's one of these serpents is flying around the place. I think it's like flying around this place. It's basically unkillable. It has a buff that just makes it immune to absolutely anything. You can, however, get rid of the buff if you craft this item. Like, yeah, but you need 20 of them. Oh, there it is. Lani. Hi. When the frame rate dies. Wait, Lani kills my frame rate. Nice. Yeah. You need this strange item. Got these crystals, I think you got them from daily quest. Well, basically every single mob in this area can drop them. I think that's the point. And there were a lot of daily quests you could do in here back in the day. I don't know if they even exist anymore, or if just a few of them still exist, or all of them, I don't know. Because this place changed a lot over the expansions, well, evolution, I don't know. It evolved quite a lot, it changed a lot. And even after the expansion was over, it changed one more time, well, in a big, well, it had one really big change later on, long after the expansion. And as I said, I have no idea if all of the dailies still exist, but basically the idea was that you just farm the dailies like crazy, because every mob in here can drop one of those. If you have all 20 of them, you can get this Alani serpent thingy, dragon mount. Fun part is, though, the drop rate of these things is really, 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 really atrocious. Oh no, wait, it was these, the sky shards. What is this? Whatever, it's the sky shards, you need 10 of them. But the story is still the same, the drop rate is absolute ass. I did a few hundred of these of the daily quests in here. I farmed them with at least 3 characters for a few days, with my main characters for a few weeks, and I have 1 sky shard, 1 single shard. I'm not quite sure, but I think I had a second one on my main character, but I got rid of that thing a few years after Pandaria wasn't a thing anymore. But I'm not 100% sure if I had one on my main character, but I think I did. Yeah. And that's basically it. It's just absolute bullshit. The worst part is that actually people could steal Alani from you. Because all you did was basically... you could remove the debuff of Alani. And then just kill Alani to get the loot. But that's it. People could steal Alani from you. Or they could just kill you. And even worse, just don't kill Alani and let it get its buff back. And just laugh at you. But yeah, of course, everybody wanted that thing really bad, so... Just not taking it for oneself would have been the ultimate asshole move, but yeah. Don't think that ever happened.
Pleased to meet you.
It's locked.
Daylight's burning.
I can't use that yet.
the bunny ranch. People dying, kill me in the packing house. Even you have to win sometimes.
Hey, everybody. This is the Bunniest Podcast. I am your host, Steve Urkel. I'm going to be Steve Urkel this week. We have some returning guests. It's the boys from Red Letter Media. We have Mike Stoklasa. That we found out was a family name.
Yes, we talked all about that.
Yeah. Jay Balmer.
Hello.
Hey. Rich Evans.
Yes.
Rich
Oh, it is
Evans.
Jay. I was
Isn't
right.
everyone's name a family name?
It's Jay.
Well, you never know. You know, I just thought maybe you picked that as like a stage name.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You know, just something
That's
real
true.
nice and simple. You know, yeah. Like Stoklasa.
Easy to pronounce.
So,
And
I
it
guess we
died
should start
again.
with-
Oh no, it didn't.
Bump. Bump.
Oh, god damn it.
Bump. Bump. Dun. Dun.
Benny.
Benny.
Benny and the Jets.
Yes. Benny and the
Plague
Jets.
the rest of our lives.
Just yours, Jay.
Just mine?
Yeah.
Damn it.
I can deal with it.
Yep, the first
I can
mythic,
deal
right?
with
Don't you get annoyed just when any song is stuck in your head for enough
Not if I
period
like
of time?
I remember it well.
Not if I like it.
Good
I
answer.
didn't like
So
it.
you'll never, ever
I
get
played it
tired of
with
Benny
the
and
randoms.
Because you know what, that song's probably not going to get stuck in my head. It hasn't been. You guys were singing.
And it was the hardest. Oh,
Back and Mike were just
didn't
all
clear
day
it, but we
yesterday.
got up to
I went
the.
home, I was fine.
We cleared it up to the.
I know
I'm envious.
it's gone on for a
Boss,
couple
I
of days
think.
now. Just Michael just start singing Benny and the Jets. And he
It's the
gets stuck for
Scorpion
the
one,
rest of the day.
or it was
Yeah,
the Scorpion one.
Rich, what about energy and me?
I
It
use it
vanished.
every day.
It completely vanished.
Oh. I
I
wish I
said-
had that ability to just let songs leave my brain like that.
I had another song that these guys have never heard of. It's "Let 'Em In," Wings, and Paul McCartney.
Okay, yeah. Open the door.
Open the door,
let
let
me
'em
in.
in.
Oh, there, Iron Juggernaut. We
I
got
think it's
stuck at
similar
the
kind of
Iron
like
Juggernaut.
overly repetitious, nightmarish song that burrows its way in your brain and won't leave.
Glad I don't know it.
So, burning question from your last episode. Do pumpkins grow in Florida?
Well, someone just tweeted a picture at us of a pumpkin truck coming from Canada all the way down to Florida to deliver pumpkins. We don't have a solid answer on that.
Oh, yeah, so you're not sure. It's just one photo, but it's on Twitter. So
Yeah, for the
it's-
record, we weren't saying they don't have pumpkins in Florida.
Yes, I said, do they grow?
Trucks exist.
And stores exist, and they bring them there, and people in Florida have pumpkins on Halloween. But is there a place where they grow?
I think we got multiple, like some people said, I live in Florida and they do grow here. And then other people saying, I live in Florida and they definitely don't grow
Yes,
here.
we got
So even people
conflicting.
in Florida don't know.
So there you go. So I guess that's settled?
The answer is maybe?
They definitely do get ones from Canada at
Yeah.
some point, but that, you know.
You can get pumpkins in the state of Florida.
Okay.
That's the ultimate takeaway.
Confirmed.
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 Burning question.
It's not like you go down there and ask for a pumpkin and they look at you like you're speaking a foreign language. They are aware of pumpkins.
We can get avocados in Wisconsin. You know,
That's true.
It's a magical world we live in. but
World of trucks.
a little world filled with trucks and carrying vegetables with E. coli all over the country.
So earlier, you know, in the last episode, we established that you firmly believe in ghosts, right?
Uh-huh.
Firmly, right?
I'm an open-minded skeptic.
Do you think the studio is haunted?
No.
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 Do you want to find out whether or not it's haunted?
Sure.
All right, because I got you a gift. Because last time I was here, I got Jay the Warriors vest.
Yes.
Yeah. So I got you.
Oh my God!
A
Is
spirit
that a
box.
spirit box?
Yes, it is.
Oh, that's so awesome!
You knew what that
It's
was
an
instantly.
It's an external speaker too.
Oh my god.
It's an SB7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think
Seven.
have
Oh, this
Ghost
is great.
Adventures, Mike?
They do, not this particular model, but
You should see the smile on Mike's face.
so a spirit box cycles through radio frequencies at a very fast rate.